from the fans, but it's Gannon Dope picking up on the right hand side of the box. Little step over and it comes. McLelland! What a start that is! Scott McTominay with the most overhead kick you will ever see in Scotland. It's Scotland 1, Denmark 0. Scotland have the corner kick over on the left hand side. It'll be taken by Lewis Ferguson in towards the near post. It's in! Scotland back in front! Shankland, I think, taking the acclaim over the far side as he swung into the near post. Denmark complained there was an infringement, but the referee is pointing to the centre spot. He says it's a goal. It's Scotland 2, Denmark 1. Back in towards the edge of the penalty area against a Danish head that gets to it. Not entirely clear. Kieran Tierney. Goal! Goal! Kieran Tierney has taken Scotland to the verge of World Cup return 27 years on, and that could be the goal that takes us back to the big time. It's Scotland 3, Denmark 2. Surely now the final whistle has got to come. Scotland just need to hold out for a few more seconds. My voice just needs to hold out for a few more seconds. Now Scotland will hold on to possession. It's McLean. He's looking to go for goal from the halfway line. It's chipped. Glorious! Glorious! Kenny McLean from the halfway line. Scotland 4, Denmark 2. We are returning to the World Cup. What a night!
Hello and welcome to the first international watch along on the new BBC Scotland, BBC Sports Scottish Football Channel. I'm Marc Jennings and I'm joined today by Rosco McLelland.
Hello there, everyone out there on YouTube. Stick with the two of us, and we're going to talk you through the game, but it's going to be a slightly kind of different way of commentating on it. It'll be less XG and more have a laugh.
There'll be no insight whatsoever. If you're sick of the sound of Alistair Lamont's voice, he's had his moment in the sun. We get it. He was excited when Tierney's goal went in. But listen, you just want to watch the game today, just have a wee bit of laugh. We are going to provide that with you with this, I suppose.
Aye, this is what it's all about. It's the brave new world of having people who don't know that much about the stats just talking about the game.
Well, the thing that caught my interest there just while watching the teams come out, Roscoe obviously is donning the new away kit. That's just what did they say in the colour is for this? I seen.
There's been a few things in
there.
there.
There's an official name of the colour of this away top.
Well, I would say it's a coral colour, because
I think that's what they said.
Man.
Actually, it's light coral or something, or something like that.
Well, some people have said like scarlet red and like salmon pink, and I'm like, that's no. If you get a salmon that colour, you're gonna.
Do you know what it was? Scarlet. Actually, I seen because I was thinking, oh God, that's not going to do well if we lose a game. And they're like, their faces should be as scarlet as that tap.
It's a bit of an open goal, that, isn't it?
I think that they're wearing that today, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're going to be like, because both teams have got away tops on. And is Maeda playing or is he on the bench?
No, Maeda's captain.
Playing, but he's left wing for some reason. I was saying because the wee tracky top they've got is very nice. And I was trying to get it, but it's currently sold out.
Oh, well, interesting about this. My mate was like, I'll go and get one. I'll go and get one because the 150-year one sold out so quickly, and we couldn't get it. My mate was like, I'm going to go down to JD Sports Zamora, and I'll be first there, and I'll get it. I'll be first in the line. And he went down to JD Sports at 8 in the morning, and there was nobody else there. And there's loads of them. He's like, even the staff are looking at me like, what are you doing in here? He took his boy down as well.
I feel like
his boy to bed.
Those days must be going a wee bit where people queue for because you can just get them online, can't you? And that's it. It's mad to see Maeda. So Maeda's the captain of Japan as well.
I'll tell you, Maeda's hair do you know what? There must be something going on because Maeda's hair's looking all right, and Dykes' hair. When I saw him in the lineup there, Dykes has got his hair back, loads of it.
Oh, has he?
He's looking good.
So Dykes is kind of like the Scottish answer to Dyson Maeda then, in terms of he can suit a baldy and he can suit kind of longer hair with a wee bit of dye in it.
And he's no scoring that much this season.
Well, this is my interesting thing because I'm a Celtic fan, and my Ada, who had an amazing season last year, has been absolutely diabolical this year. He actually looks as though he's got money on Hearts to win the league, and I'm so interested to see how he plays today because all he's done this season, whenever he gets the ball now, he will either just fall over, or he just does something so kind of bad where he'll just put out a play, or just he just doesn't do anything with the ball. And see, when he first came, he was so hot and cold, and I remember thinking he's either the best worst player ever or the worst best player ever. And then he had he was just so good last year.
Well,
and
we had a bit of that with Dessers as well.
Is that right?
You were like, I don't know if he's good or no.
I know.
But here we go. We've kicked off here.
I
don't know. Do you think Japan are ready? Because I don't know how the weather was at your bit, but when I was leaving to come here, I got assaulted by hailstones.
Aye, it was pretty bad.
Do you think Japan are ready for a 4-season in 1 day game here?
Well, they've been training down in Dumbarton.
Oh, right. Aye, well, they'll be used to it then.
The Sons of the Rock. They've been training down there, which is actually a very, very picturesque stadium for them to be training at when you see it for the aerial footage.
Oh, McGinn's just absolutely done them there. An absolute belter of head clash. I was saying when I was before I was watching a bit of the Scotland and Ireland under-19s game, and it's happening in like Kirkintilloch Sports Complex or something, and there was a ball there to be won by 2 players, and I heard maybe a fan, maybe a coaching staff from one side shout, "Do him!" and then an opposing shout from the other fans or coaching staff going, "Don't let him do you." I was like, that's beautiful stuff.
And that, in a nutshell, is why there's not been such a great stream of Scottish youth players coming through in recent years. That's pretty much the tactical analysis. Do him! Don't let him do you!
Don't let him do you. And you know, fair play to that Scottish young player. He didn't let him do him.
No.
So he listened to his coaches.
Do you know, the thing I like about this Scotland team, right, is I feel like they have... they've obviously thrown off the shackles of the glorious failure and the stuff that we've had for a long time in Scotland, because and I think hopefully as society moves on and stuff a wee bit, as things are going to improve, because I definitely feel like a lot of the issues with Scotland and not getting the players through is basically because, like, I mean, I don't know what it was like when you were younger, but like when we were, like, you know, young and playing football in school and stuff like that, often the people who were, like, you know, coaching the teams, it was often dads of one of the players who were kind of taking out all of their frustrations in life on often like 10 and 11-year-old boys, and just, you know, other what you get the ball back, come on, and then you're just realising, I don't think this is the healthiest environment to develop as a
Yeah, I remember our school, my school football team coach was the Janny.
Right.
And he was not interested in anything.
Well, was he a sweeper as a player as well?
That's a good bit of work there, man. That's a good bit of work.
I think there for a second, how did they play with a sweeper or whatever?
But I was unceremoniously, I said this earlier to you, I was unceremoniously kicked out my boys' club that I played for because I believe I was maybe one of the only people in my age group as a wee boy to get a red card for absolutely booting a wee guy. And do you know what? He deserved it. And they wouldn't let him play anymore.
What did they do to deserve it?
We were running for a ball, and he said something to me, and I didn't like it.
Right.
So I stopped and let him run on and just absolutely volleyed his legs out from under him, and he cried, and he said, "Well, you can't do this."
To be fair, he should have just, see if he had a decent coach, they would have told him not to let you do.
Don't let him do you.
Don't let him do you.
Yeah, well, that was it. That was wee guy football for me.
Did I ever tell you, I've played against John McGinn before, because he's like Paul was in my youth at school, and like, so when we were this was when we were really, really young, and we played fives, but John would sometimes play with us, and he was obviously like better than everybody, even though he was like half the height of everybody at the time. And but I've played against him, and I'm no better now as a player than I was then.
I used to play fives with he's got Scotland caps, Declan Gallagher.
All right,
I used to play fives with him when I was about maybe like, I don't know, like 17 or something like that. And you know, honestly, it was nowhere even close to the best player in that game.
Do you know what's weird?
It is what it is. It wasn't. Do you know what I mean? So I was pure surprised when he had this career after it. And I'm like, what? But the rest of them were all Alkies. So
Well, that is what happened because Paul McGinn was in my year, and Paul was always a good player, but like there was more like guys that were considered like the more skillful or whatever, and then they just chucked it with the booze.
Aye.
Oh, Dyson. Well, there's a good example of Dyson Maeda right there.
There you go.
He just get quite a great position he gets in, and he just scuffs it. He looks like me playing fives. That is the exact sort of thing I would do in that position, where I would just scuff the ball.
But also, I'm kind of worried because like when he's happy, he is a good player.
Well, here the thing is
And
because
he's obviously not happy.
he just wanted away, and someone say like should have just sold him, but.
Kind of crazy when Martin O'Neill just dropped the lore of he was supposed to go to Wolfsburg and then he wasn't allowed.
I know. I still think he's on TalkSport, Martin. Anyway, that's cool. He's going. Oh, was I not meant to say that? Oh, I'm sorry.
There's just pure like people in the background going, "What
I
is
know.
going on?"
I think he just thinks he's on and just constantly doing an after dinner speaker thing with O'Neill. But it's quite entertaining. But then sometimes you're going, mate, this is serious. We're trying to save this season here. Come on.
Oh, we've got a message through. Now
I'm torn on whether I even want to see these comments.
I can't tell if this is call on 3 or colon 3. But listen, you need to put some space in there to
And his
figure
username.
that out. Aye, but it says someone said Iron Brew was the colour, which is a bit of a stretch. Like
I can see what they're doing there.
I can see it's kind of like. It's very Iron Brew. At night, when I was sitting in the house last night and it was kind of darker, I was like, oh, it does look like kind of Iron Brew.
It's like diluted Iron Brew.
Aye, that's. It kind of looks like the colour. I remember this colour vividly at one time when I was really sick and I had cowpole and it came shooting out my nose.
Well, I think that's good preparation for the Scotland fans going to the World Cup. That if they are sick after taking some Calpol, they can do it in the tap and they only notice the difference.
Well, this is it. You can get kebab sauce on this, no bother. It's not going to be an issue.
That is the badge looks as though it's already had kebab sauce spilt on it. I don't know why they've done this with the badge, and they've kind of had that wee sort of gradient thing or whatever you want to call it on it.
It's nice. So 75 quid though is a bit much, but you know what I mean. I'm happy to do it.
Well, thankfully the licence fee paid for that. No, it didn't. Just we need to probably unable to say that. Yeah, I got this retro one off eBay actually not that long ago. Do you know what I seen somebody wearing one that was quite similar to this, and I tried to find it online. I couldn't, so I found this on eBay. And it was no bad, so it's a decent wee fit.
I've just noticed Nathan Patterson's he's doing his hair like McTominay now. He's trying to grow it out.
So am I. I've sort of been inspired. Well, to be honest, it's me and Russell Martin I was inspired by.
I mean, you can say you want a bit of manager, but his hair was nice, and obviously, do you know what I mean?
Nobody was criticising.
Tinder enjoyed it.
That's
so.
what nobody was criticising his hair. Do you know what I mean? No, but it is. Well, I've noticed it's a trend, and that's why. Because I've not changed my hair in years. The other time you've known me, I've not changed, and I thought I'll just grow it out. I was a wee bit bothered. I thought I'll grow it out, and then but you do notice it in the Scot because even Ralston has grown it out. There's a few of the Celtic players have done it, but Ralston's done it. Obviously, McTominay is the best proponent of the long hair. But there's a few of them that try to do it. There's not a couple on this team, but there's always a couple that keep the BAM hair, like Sir John, who's on the ball at the moment.
Aye, John McGinn can't have any other.
Oh, you just hit the post. On you go, shoot.
How'd you miss that? That's got to go. Who was that?
I was unlucky. Who's that?
Oh, it was McTominay.
Oh, well, there's a great look at it.
By the way, this Japan keeper, he's like what 19 or something like that.
Suzuki.
Aye, but he's good. I can't remember who he plays at, but he's good.
He's 19.
Aye.
He could be Craig Gordon's son.
I mean, listen, I know you were joking there, but the amount of sons he's got, that could actually be true.
I'm not going to comment on the personal life, but that was a good chance, man.
That was a good chance. You'd count on McTominay to bury that, but...
Did you see the photo of McTominay training and next to the mural of him?
Oh, I saw that. Aye, that mural's great. By the way.
Belter. So what is that? So that's at Lesser Hampden. That one is it? Is that and that's where they were training? It looked cool. Imagine training next to a big. Imagine doing this. Well, that was like because there's some. Well, actually, at the stand now, they've got a picture of you up in the hallway. They've not got one of me, by the way. And then you're on stage, but it'd be like being on stage next to a mural of yourself. Do you know the weirdest one? I heard of that. So there's a lassie on the comedy circuit now, Emma Corbett, and she's actually Ronnie Corbett's daughter.
Yeah.
But she was on at Monkey Barrel one night, and they used to have. There was like, how the what was that sketch? It was the two Ronnies and John Cleese. It was like the upper class, middle class, working class, and so she's performing like 2 yards away for a sort of cutout of her dad.
They had huge cutouts on the wall, like they were like almost life size. Well, I mean, it'd be easy. If you're going to do a life size cutout, get Ronnie Corbett because it's cheaper to get it made.
And the John Cleese one cost him a fortune, to be fair.
That must have been mental. Here's a thing, by the way, because I was looking at Japan's results and stuff like their last results, and they beat Brazil.
That's right,
3-2 last year.
Their name mugs, they're right up there in the name mugs category, I would say.
That's it. They're always, I mean, I know their qualification paths are a wee bit easier and stuff, but they're always scudding teams.
No.
And I guess if you get that used to, like, we're winning, we win, then when it comes up against like Brazil and stuff like that, and you get to the World Cup, it's built into you.
I know. Well, I was listening to the BBC Scotland podcast thing, and there was a guy on who was talking about Japan, and they were saying that their expectations to get to at least the quarterfinals is what they're trying to get to. So, like, when we're just trying to make it out of the groups, there's Dyson is absolutely, he just didn't even go for that ball there.
Nah, he's sick of Scotland.
I know.
He's absolutely sick of
If
Scotland.
this game was played about 2 years ago, I think I'd be supporting Japan with them in the players.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised. So I don't know if it is because obviously Hitati never made the squad, which you'd have been raging about. But is Kyogo injured, or did he just not get picked? Because he wasn't getting picked at Celtic for a while, but he was also he's not been playing for Birmingham City, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. No.
And he's been really bad. He's missed some terrible chances for him, but it's amazing. He was so good for Celtic for like the first couple of seasons, I know.
Well, listen, he had that big ongoing shoulder problem, which seems there's something that Celtic seem to be doing where they're just wrecking all their players' shoulders.
Whatever hotel they're staying in before the games, they're not getting a good night's sleep.
Get a lumpy Premier Inn mattress.
That's it. But the what's the thinking on Angus Gunn these days? Is because he was getting a wee bit of a slagging during the Euros.
Well, there was a few things he let in that a keeper should save. Do you know? I mean, I think he's all right as a keeper. I don't think he should be the number one.
Who should be then above him?
I don't know. I just think you have to wait for Craig Gordon to be fit, and then he's straight into number.
Do you think Gordon should be starting if he's fit at the World Cup?
I do think so. The ability. I would rather have someone who's. I mean, Craig Gordon's got the ability to pull off a worldie, and
That's
we
true.
know that. And
But is it a bit of the Casper Schmeichel of like, is he maybe getting to? Obviously, he's not injured with the shoulder like Kyogo, but he's but no, I mean, it's like, is he going to? He'll save you chances nobody else would, but would he let in stuff that other people wouldn't?
Well, I mean, the only thing I think about when I think Angus Gunn is the ball going straight to him and flapping over his hands and going in the net. So I'm like, I wouldn't see Craig Gordon doing that.
That's true.
Although if Craig Gordon, I mean,
he might not be
Craig
as
Gordon
mobile
saves
these days and stuff. Or something.
His arm will probably fall off or something like that. But still,
I really hope he makes the squad though, because I remember doing a thing. I think it was actually for the draw for the Euros, and he was still injured at the time, and he was talking about getting back in the squad, and I was like, I was sort of thinking at the time, I was like, there's no chance. But and then they kind of like thought he was retiring, and then for him to make the World Cup would be amazing. So
exactly, he deserves it.
He's a great
for everything
keeper.
He's done. He deserves to be in the squad.
But that is mad how long he's been playing, because they just before the game started, they showed that Kirin Cup game the last time we played Japan, and he was in goals for that. You're like, you must be like the only player still alive for that game, Hank.
He's the only one who's not got a podcast, that's for sure.
I know. No, yeah. Anyway, we'll see.
Aye, couple of years it'll be Craig Gordon's parent in hell, something like that.
He's doing it with his son, who's currently playing in goals for Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that what does that say in that? Is that no happy endings? Like Scotland Supporters Club or something like that. Some of the supporters clubs for Scotland have got like mad.
Is that
names.
based in Thailand or something? Bangkok Scotland Supporters Club, no happy endings. I think to be fair, technically any Scotland supporters club could be called no happy endings.
Aye, that's basically it. It's just a reminder. Just in case you dare to dream, dare to hope. I remember some mates, they were in like, what was it, the Pineapple Tartan Army and stuff like that.
What was that?
I don't know. That's what they call it. They're they call themselves the Pineapple
Pineapple
Tartan.
tartan could arguably be what that tap is coloured as.
Pineapple tartan?
Aye, maybe.
What kind of pineapples are you using?
I've not eaten a lot of pineapples, to be fair.
They are, I tell you.
Scotland's having a lot of the ball here, by the way.
I know. It's pretty decent, considering, we're running a secret 4-2-3-1.
That's are we allowed to say that?
Ran a 4-4. Nah, 4-4-2. But it looks like itself as a.
This is just our detailed analysis. We've deciphered that we might be playing a slightly different formation than was claimed.
I mean, you can see.
Well, John's on the right though, which I was wondering if they would do that or whether they would put, because Conway's over on the left then.
Yeah, look, we were saying earlier on. I think Finlay Curtis will actually do really well. If he gets time in the World Cup, because all he does is just he does the job that you want a winger to do. He runs at people and he'll run in behind and he runs at people and commits them and stuff like that. And I think that's great.
That's exactly what we need, because I was saying like Gannon Doak is I think going to be, because see how badly we played at the Euros. We just didn't have any creative players, and Christie didn't get a lot of time and near did Shankland. So I think the fact that Gannon Doak uses that wee bit of creativity we don't normally have, and he's not in the squad now. But for the World Cup, I think that, and then the difference being obviously as well, McTominay just totally coming on to marry a game, a few of the other boys doing the same, and like that's really going to be the difference maker, I think, in the World Cup compared to how bad, because we were just poor at the Euros, weren't we?
Yeah, it was kind of embarrassing that we were celebrating not giving away a corner.
No, do you know what? No, I was right in front of it. See where we were sitting? That happened right in front of us, and I know everybody goes on about that news, like, oh, how embarrassing because of the way they game. But see, the time you're like, yes, it was, mate, it was brilliant. It was great to see, and then
we get spanked.
Turns out it was the best thing that happened in the game.
Yeah, that was a hard one to take. So I guess it's a case of who should be on the plane to Boston, really. Wondering if anybody out there watching.
I think they should ship up to Boston, like the song.
I didn't take it back. Old school. We'll go around via.
Well, it's team bonding, innit? Get a couple of weeks in the ship. Just play letter to America the whole time, and that'd be great.
Turn up like that is my. I mean, I know this isn't about anything. My favourite bit of history about America is when the
This
Dutch.
could go either way.
Oh, it really could. When the Dutch had New York, when it was New Amsterdam, and to stop the English coming in and taking it over, they were like, "We're going to build a wall over the top so they can't," which is where Wall Street is now. And then England were like, "Are you kidding on?" And they just turned up on the other side with boats. They're like, we're a like naval power, and you built a wall on the land. We turned up in boats. So
and when they learned that from Hadrian's Wall, like, fool me once.
Do you know? Only recently I found out that wasn't about 2 feet high.
Hadrian's Wall?
Yeah.
How tall was it then?
Like about 10, 12 feet.
And you just thought it'd always been 2 foot tall?
I was just like, how lazy were the Scottish back in the day? They're like, we'll build a 2 foot wall and they'll never be able to get on it. The kilts are too tight.
People were a lot
spread
shorter.
their legs.
People were a lot shorter
back then. If you're watching it there, who do you think should be on the plane to America? Is there any outsiders? Let us know in the
So you
chat.
would say Craig Gordon definitely then, if you think he should be starting? He should definitely be on the plane.
I think so. I think so.
So, and you think Finlay Curtis as well?
I also think if there's an incident on the plane, you can just stick his arms out. If the wings fall off or something like that, stick his arms out and he'll glide us there to safety. Craig Gordon, we've got one in here for that's it. This is actually a bit of a belter. Alan Hasley's came in. Craig Gordon and his Japanese offspring hosting a podcast called Land of the Raising Suns. That's a good bit of work there, Alan. Congratulations. That's a good bit of work.
Tell you what, that's a keeper. That's a keeper.
Oh man, we've got some other comments here. Japan are on a decent run as of late. They are. Like I said, the scud teams. They absolutely scud teams. But I mean, they are playing like your Hong Kongs and Vietnams and stuff like that. But it's all like, you look back, it's like 6-0, 7-0, 5-0, 4-0. You know, they really give teams a doing.
Well.
They're no.
They do. They've got a lot of good. Apparently, they've got hundreds of players playing in Europe.
They've got a huge kind of core that play in Europe at like high levels and stuff like that as well. Do you know? So, they're kind of, and I don't know. I was looking.
Who have they got in their group for the World Cup?
I can't remember. I was looking earlier on, but it looks like they have a favourable group as well.
Is that right?
They're in one of the groups that's still got aye, they've got a to be confirmed.
TBC are they mugs or not?
You mean the Democratic Republic of Congo? Oh, they're a corner. Oh, we wouldn't be celebrating that in Germany, I'll tell you that. Made on Patterson. Did they was made at Celtic when Patterson was there, or was there a crossover time?
Maybe Patterson was just away. Well, I remember saying when Patterson was still at Rangers, Patterson, he's the enemy of the Celtic Da, the Patterson.
It's Nakamura, you dough ball.
Do you know what?
I love that video, man. It's so sad.
Oh, we'll see. Obviously, Nakamura. That was class. I thought to see Nakamura meeting Tierney again, and because obviously there was that video of him when Tierney was like really young.
He was a wee boy getting boots off him and stuff.
He got a pair of Nakamura's boots, so they came back and talked about it. But it did remind me of the best username I've ever seen in a football forum, which was Shunsuke Knackered Moira.
Was it just someone called Moira?
I'm assuming she was just called Moira, and she called herself Shunsuke Knackered Moira.
I love that. That's such a like turning up to the five-a-side league and just looking at the team names in the other leagues and just going, "Oh, right,
real social dads and all that."
I loved stuff like that.
Yeah, Knackered Moira was about her.
Shinsuke Knackered Moira.
I'm sure she was an administrator on the site or whatever. But
I actually forgot that Ferguson was playing.
Wes Ferguson, I know he's not done much in the game, has he? So
there's this weird...
Look at Dyson, right? This is like challenge impossible. Dyson might do something in a game.
There seems to be this weird pipeline now. I don't know if you've noticed it. Well, I mean, yeah, must have. Scottish players doing well and then going to Italy.
Aye.
And presumably eating good tomatoes or something.
Is there just like one mad dodgy agent that just gets them all moves to Italy? How are they all moving there?
Just one guy. It's the
That's
Scottish
like
Italian
Saudi
mafia
Arabia
connection.
No, but it is mad though that it's like, because basically, I think it's probably true for a lot of players for the UK generally that there's no. A lot of them don't go abroad until kind of recent times, but then it's mad for the amount of Scottish players that they leave Scotland and they all go to the one country.
Aye, but I think they're probably just looking at McTominay and going, he's looking a lot better now, isn't he? And they're going, I want to look better, and we'll go to Italy. That's what we do.
But then the Serie A is not quite where it was.
It's not what it used to be. I mean, who's still in a? There's still a Milan team in the Champions League, isn't there? Is it? Are Inter still in it?
I need to look that up.
Have they been?
I think they may have put it.
You can put it.
But because obviously, who's there? So you've got. Was the first one to really go there? Was it Hickey? Like in recent times, Hickey was there, and then obviously Ferguson's at Bologna.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got
there's Gilmore and
McTominay there. Is there anybody else that's went there? Well, there's obviously there was a lot of English players, didn't they? Doig is there.
We had in one of my Sunday League teams, we had an Italian second division reserve keeper playing for us in Sunday League, and he was by far the best player in that Sunday League.
And he was
unreal. This 6 foot plus Italian stallion called Danny, and nobody could get the ball by him. If you didn't put it in the top corner, he was saving it.
Well, surely your Johnny played him as a sweeper. Come on. Look! Dyson gets in a great position. It hits his heel, and he loses the ball instantly. Honestly, everything he does turns to the opposite of gold.
Well,
I
have noticed that. And it's one from a my team Rangers perspective.
Yes.
Seeing him play, you're like, well, that's all right.
Look at what a run! Beats the offside trap.
Gets in the right
his heels.
position. Aye, he tends to do. I guess he really had a season where he caught fire, didn't he?
Last year he was unbelievable. Let's see that goal he scored against Rangers in that League Cup final where it was like pure up in the air. It was like that was the best thing that happened since Zidane scored that goal. It was like 40 yards there, he takes it down, beats the guy and scores.
Oh, aye.
And you're like, but now it looks like a guy that doesn't know the rules of football.
Aye.
He just runs about.
I tell you what, Patterson's not meant to have that haircut. He's not got the face for it.
Well, I feel this. I feel the.
Just looking at him there, I'm like, Patterson, that's not you,
I'm
mate.
saying no. I feel the same way about Ralston, and I feel the same way about myself. I won't lie. I don't know how much longer am I going to persist with this before I just go back to the thing that I always done before. So
I had that haircut at my wedding.
That's right.
And that was about 7-8 years ago or something.
You're
like
a
that.
bit of a trailblazer because now you've kind of got more similar to hair I've got, apart from you've got the thing at the back.
Aye, well then this haircut as well. I got this a few years ago, and then I was like, oh, I'm getting it because I'm like a punk, got a mohawk and stuff. And then I started noticing it. There was it was the South American tournament. The name escapes me currently, and
South American tournament.
Aye, like the Copa del Rey or something like that.
Aye.
What is it?
Lana Del Rey, you're thinking?
I'm thinking of Lana Del Rey got it for a couple of days.
Copa America?
Copa America, that's it. And I was watching some of the games and I was like, some of these players have got the same haircut as me. And I was like, oh no, that's going to move in. And then for like a year, a lot of people were getting this haircut. And I was like, oh, well, here we are. Comment, have you got a haircut out there? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments if anybody's stole your haircut. That's what I want to hear about. This is what it's all about.
Rosco, you're going to America then?
I'm going to Boston for 3 days.
Unreal.
Do you know what was unreal? My mate dithering when he was dithering when the draw was being made, and I was just like, as soon as we found out our games were in Boston, I'm like, right, I'm right on there.
Yeah.
And I was looking at prices, and I was like, oh, that looks all right. You know, like, oh, well, you know, for a few days it'll be like, what, I don't know, like 800 quid or something. And then I realised that I was looking at, it was 800 quid a day and stuff like that. I was like, oh no, panicking.
Yeah.
Managed to get this hotel, which is pretty central in Boston, and I got it for 200 quid a night. And that's, that, you know, but split between the two, that's no too bad.
That's good.
And he was still like, oh, but only 3 days, what about me? And I was like, no, trust me, man, this is going to be expensive, you know. And then he went the next day to look and see if we could have more days on. It was 600 quid a night. It went up like that. It was insane.
You just beat it just before the.
I got in just before, so I think 3 days will be enough. Get in.
So what? So you're going for the first game?
Yeah, we're going for the first game.
That'll be good. Like that'll be the best atmosphere and stuff. Will be.
I do not have tickets. If anyone out there knows any ticket people, let me contact me on Instagram. Contact me on Instagram. No, but great. We're not even too fussed about, you know.
Just be good to be in and around it.
We'll be there. If we have to watch it in the fan zone, we're also cool with that. Even better, you know. Because I've heard that stadium is actually quite a bit away from Boston. The Foxborough, Gillette, whatever it's called, stadium. And also, I read something yesterday that said they're going to be increasing the price when the World Cup. So it's going up for the price of the train from Boston to the stadium and back is meant to be like $25 or something, and they're putting it up to $75 during the World Cup. And I'm like, yeah, you're thieves, man.
I do feel like, particularly with it being in America, I feel like just they're going to do everything to fleece people, like more so than they would normally do, because they've not got that connection to football as such, and it's just everything so like kind of money.
Yeah, that's it. They've got a connection to capitalism.
Exactly.
Football.
And just obviously it's an expensive place at the best of times. Like, I just feel like it is going to be tough. Like, because I would have loved to have went, but we went to Germany for the 2 weeks for the Euros, and it did kind of scratch that itch a wee bit of going, well, this, like, you know, it was the kind of first tournament abroad basically since '98, and it was great to go, but it was like, and it was expensive, but it was like, it was no the kind of money that obviously you're now having to pay for that. So like 2 weeks to go for the whole 2 weeks, like, is, you know, I think I seen some guy the other day and it was something like remortgaged his house or something like that to go over.
I mean, well, I'm spending about, and I'm fine to say, I'm spending about $2,000 just to get there and have somewhere to stay, and then there's everything else on top of
and that's for 3 days.
That's for 3 days.
Jesus,
it's not cheap. And we're going via Dublin. That was a wee thing that I found, because I was like, well, let's clear American immigration in Dublin.
Well, that was my other concern as well, because they're getting dead strict with the stuff. If you got a visa, I didn't know, would you be able to get in? If you'd, especially with us, if we're putting jokes out online and that, I probably said something about Trump at some point.
Well,
but I will say on this, he's a great guy. In case I end up being able to go.
And I'll double down that. I hate the wind farm things as well.
I know, they're a blight on the Aberdeen landscape, aren't they, Donald?
I get nobody he hates him. The natural enemy, a guy with a dodgy hairdo, is a big fan.
That's
at the
very
end
true.
Of the day.
Do you know what is mad? Oh my God.
Oh.
A good save. Do you know what is mad though, right?
Right, save.
It's mad because Donald Trump, there was a time before he was running for president that he would just be like the last story on Scottish news, and it would just be him arguing with Alex Salmond about wind farms, or some guy that lives in Aberdeen next to his golf course that wouldn't give him planning permission or something. Right. And that was just like the kind of like, on businessman Donald Trump today, you know? And he'd just be like, and that's a mad trajectory to go for the kind of like the last story on Scottish news to the main story in world news. That is the biggest leap. You couldn't get from the lowest of the low to the highest of the high. But as I say, when I hear a bad word about him, and in case I can get tickets last minute and try and get him.
I did get. I was in Las Vegas in October, and I got kind of checked at the other side. They were asking me quite. They were
when you were leaving.
When I got into America and at passport control,
what did they ask you?
The guy, he was asking me questions about stuff that had never even happened. They were just trying to see how I would. I think they were just like.
What would you do if there was a live stream on the new BBC Sport Scotland YouTube channel and the subject of Donald Trump came up? What would you say then?
I would say, good for you, man. You're the most Scottish. You know, you're very your Scottish roots show. Do you know what I mean? You're.
I think he will go
wanted for crimes and you owe hundreds of people money.
I think 100% he will go to a Scotland game because he's modest for Scotland. I think he's 100% he's going to go to one of the games. Probably the Brazil game, wasn't it? People, I love Brazil. I love Scotland.
I love Brazilians.
The late great Pelé. He always says that. That's not the only guy he's heard of. He always goes, Pelé
scored 1,000 billion goals
that nobody ever seen.
He said, not like me. A lot of stuff, you know, no records of it. Tone 70 has said, buy an old banger, drive around.
That's a good shout.
I looked into that as well. I was like, what if we got like an Americans got a lot of these like big RVs and stuff like that. We could hire that, and I would love to do the whole like tailgating thing, that culture they have.
What is that?
Basically, they turn for like an American football game. They turn up in the car park, loads of them, and they all have a big kind of party, a big cookout, and they sit and they're there for hours before the game and hours after it. They've got the big RVs and they're making food and drinking and stuff in the car park. Like, that seems interesting, but also that I think that would go mental. I think that when Scotland fans turn up and seeing that, because our drinking culture is very different.
I say, who would drive? Everybody would be drinking.
Exactly. Our drinking culture. Because when I was in Vegas, we were at a big festival, and I was not drinking as responsibly as I should have,
right?
You know, and. Well, what happened is I was drinking. There was a drink called Mike's Harder Lemonade, and I was drinking them all day.
Other hard lemonades are available.
Oh yeah, and then eventually my wife got me one later on, but she got me a strawberry flavour instead of a lemon flavour, and I think it was a change of fruit that tipped me over the edge.
That sounds about right.
And I had to tactically evacuate my stomach, and nobody around me went, "Wait, nothing." They just sat in silence while I chundered my life away.
I've never heard a tactical whitey be called a tactical evacuation.
To be fair, that paints a different picture, doesn't it?
Is this tactical or is it a forced evacuation?
It was a good tactic. I felt fine after that.
That is often the case. Right?
Yeah. Look at Dykes' hair, man. It doesn't look as menacing with a big skin head. It doesn't look as menacing. I like the idea, but what I was saying about driving an old banger around in Boston, I looked into it. In Boston, because it's quite an older, laid out city, they don't have like a lot of parking spaces and spaces for RVs.
Right.
So that was that idea out the window. There's always the idea.
They wouldn't have the Ringo app either, probably, if you had to park it.
No, you're right.
You download this whole faff until you download a new one.
Oh, this is a pay by phone car park, is it? Download another.
It's not very user friendly, that interface, is it?
No.
Anyway. What do you normally make of international friendlies? It's one of the ones people can. I heard Tam Cowan on Off the Ball, and he was sort of talking about he wasn't really too bothered with them. But I suppose it's a good. The nice thing, this must probably be one of the better. Oh, here we go.
I really like this. Good tracking there for McGinn.
It's probably a really good one of the better ones for the squad because obviously, if we hadn't qualified, we'd have been playing a playoff, or we might have already been out. And so it's probably a good in the sense that they can relax because it's just a friendly. They've already done the hard work, and they've actually got something to work towards.
Well, that's it. It's brilliant just now. Do you not feel that, like, yeah, I was happy when we qualified,
Yeah.
but I'm even happier seeing other teams have to play like banana skin teams and stuff like
I
that.
know.
They have to do like a playoff like against like Bosnia, and you're like, it's not us for once.
I know.
This is amazing.
That
So
is
I'm
it.
quite happy at friendlies on.
I did feel bad for Ireland, particularly with, after that the Troy Parrott goal and stuff like that, and then for them to just go out that way, it's a bit of a shame. But then that was Northern Ireland and Wales all went out, so
Aye, well that's it. Well, I mean, I had sadness for them until I saw somebody put up a Welsh fans post from the last time they were in the Euros slagging Scotland off, and I was
Is that
like,
right?
well, do you know what? Actually, that was just one guy's opinion, but I'm going to put that in the whole country. So use are.
well, that's. I mean, if that's not in the spirit of what international football is all about, I don't know. It really is. Lark Hall, Scott Tartan Army with a big groundskeeper Willie.
That's exactly what America thinks is coming for it right now.
And then they'll see the people who are actually for fuck Lark Hall.
Oh, yeah. That picture had a lot more teeth.
Is the helicopter just come by the BBC studios here, and I take it, is that for the game? Will they be going over Hampden?
No, but the helicopter's turning the Kirin Cup is going to another stadium.
Is this like a sort of, in boxing you get the lineal champion? Are we the lineal Kirin Cup? Is Kirin, did they do the Kirin Cup all the time? We've just not done it since 2006 or whenever it was.
I'm not sure if that's
We were sort of debating whether Kirin was the sponsor on the jacket of the Japan team's tab as well, and we were debating. Apparently it's a lager, Japanese lager.
Well, I looked in it. I thought it might be, but then when I googled it, it turns out it's some kind of mythical deer that's got scales like a dragon, and I'm like, well, but two things can be true at once, you know. Like tenants can be somebody that lives in a house or something you regret.
What was your thing you said before we recorded about sake?
Oh, I were talking about Kieran maybe being a lager, and then like you were saying other lagers are available. Sake, you're getting sake in the morning.
That's that's the Japanese program about football managers and stuff.
Have you ever drank sake before?
I don't think so, actually. No,
It's crazy. It's like vodka vinegar or something. It's mental.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually it's one of these. You can get it hot or cold. I was drinking it in New Zealand when I was out there, and you can either have it hot or cold. And it's so weird to have like a warm alcohol. But and it's one of these things where like the first time you have it, you're like, ugh. But then by the fourth one, you're like, I love this.
you get in it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's strong. Oh,
That's a good pass.
Oh,
Hit the bar. Japan just hit the bar there.
Fine. Do you know what? Who cares about that?
Do you not think you'd be raging, right? See if you're Rio Hatate, right? And your country turns up in the city that you play in, which is on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
And they don't even bother to go, you might as well just train with us.
We'll just get
Just come down to Dumbarton and train. They don't
Turn
even
up
let
to
them
the
do
game.
that.
Did Gunn get a touch to that there or no? If he did get a touch, no, he was never near it.
No.
Just off the bar.
To be fair, he's not been very good for Celtic this year, I would say that.
Hatate?
He's been awful.
Aye. Hasn't done that much. But to be fair, it's just been one of these seasons, do you know what I mean?
The whole team's been awful, to be fair.
Aye. It's a strange season where Rangers had a bad manager and then Celtic went, do you know what? Let's give that a shot as well.
Absolutely.
We'll have a go.
And it was very much the same kind of sort of issue, really, which was just an idea of playing that didn't quite work in contact with reality, I suppose. Although, actually, the weird thing is, the best football Celtic played all season was under Wilfred Nancy.
Really?
It's just that usually we were like losing 2-0 to Dundee United or something when it was happening. But no, honestly, it's like we actually did. I was at the first game, his first game against Hearts, and for the first half hour we were brilliant, and then it just didn't kind of work out. So it's one of the ones. But I think if he had more time, see if he'd come in at the start of the season like Russell Martin,
Yeah.
I think Nancy would have done a lot better. But he came in mid-season, changed too much too soon, and and he just didn't have the players to play it. There's just not a good squad. So
Yeah, I think your squad's a bit. It's the Celtic squad seems like the kind of the last survivors of the Ange era.
Absolutely,
are
yeah,
clinging on in there because he built a good team, but then it's just been kind of let to fall to dust. It turns out the Kirin Cup, the Kirin Cup, what is this? The current champions are Tunisia.
Is that right?
Aye, current champions are Tunisia.
What? Right on the
And
bar.
Japan have won the most. 11 titles, Japan have won it, but that's kind of like, you know.
How often do they do the Kirin Cup?
I can't actually. Maybe it is. Maybe it's every.
Where did we not get invited back for? That's what I know.
It's one of the ones like, it's my ball. I'm going home.
I know. Well, we beat Japan. No, Japan beat us. Sorry, and then we somehow still won it.
Aye. They were like, well, we're not having that happen again. But it's Japan having the most championships is kind of like when like an American team wins the World Series of something like that, and you're like, but you only play American teams.
If you said this thing, you might need to look this up because I think it might be Korea rather than Japan. But there was a thing, it's apparently a phrase in one of those countries. They use the phrase Leeds Days. Have you seen this? And it refers to, like, remember when Alan Smith and that played for Leeds, like when they went down?
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's like this, so I think it's meant to sort of mean like glory days, but it's either Japan or Korea, I think, that use it, and that's like a common phrase there.
Do you know, I heard another Japan.
Is it in Korea?
Japan have got a Greyfriars Bobby.
Is that right?
Basically, I heard that some guy has obviously came over and heard the story and went, "That's a good story." Good, just lift
They've
that.
done
They've literally just lifted the story.
Adaptation.
There is a statue in Japan of a wee dog, Greyfriars Bobby, somewhere, but it's probably not called Greyfriars Bobby.
Greyfriars,
you know
I don't think it's a Japanese name.
Aye, it'll be something else that's more, Japanese centric. Well, we've got an antagonist in the chat, Marc.
Is that right?
J26 says Scotland have no chance of getting out the group stage at the World Cup. Scotland will lose all games, then it's home time. Well, do you know what, Jay? I hope so, because I couldn't even afford to be out there for any longer. So
that's a bit of Wales fan if I've ever heard one.
That's Troy Parrott.
Oh, here we go. Right, Dyson. Well, he's just passed it to somebody else, which is the
kinda...
best thing you can do.
Oh. Angus Gunn, wrist looking strong there. Good for you, my man.
Is it no easier for Scotland to qualify than ever before because it's like do a lot of third place teams go through or something in this one?
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping. I'm really hoping.
So they're thinking if we beat Haiti in the first game,
and
if you win one game, aye. Although if them they could do it, it'd be Scotland. We'll give it 7-0 off Brazil or something. Do you know what's weird as well? I was thinking today because obviously Morocco, so they have just been awarded the AFCON.
Yeah.
Because they done this thing for, was it Senegal?
The Senegal team, because the Senegal team walked off, because it was quite obviously, like, it was, like, they walked off for a good reason. I thought they were right to do it, because that ref, I can't remember exactly what call he made, it was something about a penalty, and I was like, that ref is at it. He's made the wrong decision.
Well, they've just, it goes back to the tactics of don't let them do you. And this thing they're saying, the refs, don't let the refs do you. Walk off the pitch. But the thing is, so Morocco, right, so they are now officially the AFCON champions, even though they didn't lift the trophy. And in 1967, Scotland became the unofficial world champions by beating England and didn't lift a trophy. So it's the tale of two teams that are technically world champions.
Two unofficial world champions championship game.
Well, African champions and world champions from two different decades, two different centuries.
So that Scotland Morocco game.
It's a tenuous link, but I'm going.
I'm all in. I know Scotland versus Morocco is now the unofficial world championship.
So we could technically become unofficial, official African champions.
Finally, that's what we've been waiting on.
And that's another one that, it's just another kind of like moment. Steve Clark's done something that nobody else has done in a long time. Can't take that away from him.
There's we've Well, someone's saying here that this is an example. This right
Are you
here
looking at
is
the
an
same chat as them, or are we?
I've got
Right.
we're in this thing.
Oh,
If
I've
you
not
want to
been
check, it's on
looking
the
at my phone,
WhatsApp.
right,
I'm
aye.
just keeping an eye on it. This is an example of why Steve Clark gets far too much credit. Our style is awful, and we should be free flowing like Japan. Well, the thing about Japan is
Get better players.
aye, that's Japan get better players, right? They get better players than us. Of course, we're gonna. This is a kind of learning curve game, I think.
Oh, aye.
It's so because they are a step above us. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
And what
that's-
happened in the Euros is we get embarrassed by teams that were a step above us. Like Germany in the first game just done us, and that was it. After that, there's no hope of coming back really.
And well, it's kind of the sort of double-edged sword of Steve Clark, though, right? Because he's not wrong in what he's saying about, like, we're not looking amazing. Although, is that Tommy Conway on the ball? He looks decent. Oh, here we go.
Craig
Let's
Gordon's
see.
son there with a nice picture.
Patterson.
Oh, there you go.
McTominay.
Oh,
Oh, but the thing is, so okay, they're playing better than us and stuff, but it's only not in each. So it's like the thing about Steve Clark is, okay, we're not going to play that great, but you can't argue with the results.
Yeah.
3 tournaments, you know. So and okay, particularly the last one, we didn't play well at all while we were there, but and that's the big thing about people are asking after the World Cup, do we keep him or no? And it's kind of like you're going, how do you get rid of somebody that's, you know, had this unprecedented, like, got us back into these tournaments, but it's always like, but could we be doing better? And I think, honestly, with the squad we've got, I don't really see how, it's honestly like, you've not got a striker, and it's a similar thing at Celtic at the moment. It's like,
Yeah, it's hard to win games when you don't have a striker that an opposition would fear.
oh, there's Tyson again. But it's hard to see the creative outlet, like, because Scotland's problem, I think, in the last few years is that all our best players, particularly the ones that play in the Premier League, they all sort of do the same job for their clubs.
We've either midfield or left back.
Yeah, and they're all the hard working Scottish guy in the team. So like you look at McGinn, McTominay's slightly different now because he's kind of came on, but when it certainly is at Man U, it was like more he was that guy for them, and now he's got a bit more, I suppose, cultured. But then
He's
you
eating
look
better tomatoes.
oh,
That's literally what it's doing.
that's it. He's good in his hair, but and like Ferguson, you know, obviously Robertson and Tierney, all these guys, they're all kind of that guy for the team, and then you've got a few. They're all just kind of hard-working players for the most part, aren't they? But I would say the exception is somebody like Gannon Doak. By the way, I was watching one of the last Scotland games with my dad, and obviously Gannon Doak just changed his name, and my dad genuinely said to me, he goes, see that Gannon Doak? Is that Ben Doak's brother? And I was just like, what even possesses you to say something like that, man?
Some family, that. Oh, good save there. Was that off? Was that offside there?
Doesn't
Looked like
matter.
it's a bit
Saved it
off.
anyway.
Aye.
Off time.
Aye, there you go, half 10. Well, do you know what? Like I say, Japan are no slouch. They're a good team, so to go in
Had a few good
and we had
chances.
arguably the best chance. I know it hit crossbar,
They had it,
but
but I-
McTominay should have put that one away.
They've had a few good chances, but that McTominay chance was good for us.
Yeah.
We've not created that much.
Aye.
Guy Conway looked all right there. He's one of the ones where I would question, does he make the plane? Because he's played a couple of games, but who does he play for? Like Bristol or something? Is it Middlesbrough?
Also,
isn't it?
just what's with the referee's moustache there? Did you see that?
I
Guy?
didn't. I missed that.
He had one of those kind of like a Peaky Blinders villain moustache, a wee thin one.
That's what I like to see. I think we need more of that in the refereeing. I think referees should all have moustaches. Actually, that's my take.
Referees that look like they're for the 1920s.
Absolutely. You need a bit of tradition in football. Do you know what I mean? They should all wear these shorts that go up to like their chest and all.
That'd be great. Aye. every top's just one colour with a big weird badge sewn on it. It's just guys, goalies wearing flat caps, smoking a pipe.
I know.
Love that.
It's mad when you look back at the old kind of games, and it's like when they've started realising how they could like stitch a badge onto the thing. I think in fact sometimes they would have the sponsor first, like an Umbro badge or whatever, and then they would eventually. So it's like over the years, like because like you look back at like say like 67, it's just the green and white taps, and then it's like by the 70s they've got the wee badge, and then it just slowly develops, and then you've got all the here was a thing. See back in the day when you watch all those old games, for particularly like I think the 70s, 80s. Why did they always have motors? And it was always just kind of motors sitting next to the advertising boards.
The track side,
Aye, what was
There
that
always
about?
just a few motors.
They would have the motors.
Just motors. Aye. There's there's been a few weird things as well. I've seen there was a club I saw recently that had like a weird kind of fan, or you can sit in this jacuzzi at the side of the park and watch the game and all that.
What stadium was that again?
I cannot remember.
Is that Falkirk?
Was it Falkirk?
Is that right? That's good.
Falkirk is a kind of, I mean, that wheel, strange kind of play. I mean, no, listen, it's a kind of strange place, Falkirk.
We're losing the Falkirk people here.
Do you know what? I don't have any ill will to Falkirk. I've
got no will to them either.
I've never really been there for anything. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
I've never really been, and they've got, we've got the wheel, and I'm like, I don't care.
I went to Falkirk v Celtic, in the Falkirk end. It was my birthday, and me and my dad went, and just before the game started, this boy beside me is like, he said to the guy who's way, he's like, "Aye, I bet there'll be a couple of Celtic fans in today, eh?" So I was like, "Oh, I better start talking like that." So so I was going up and order a pack of Scotch pie, please, eh?
Oh, give me a mean there, they'll probably be.
And then, but then
know they're here, eh?
Falkirk scored first, and my dad was the only guy in the stand that didn't stand up to celebrate. And I'm like, there you go. Oh, there you go. That's it. The Falkirk jacuzzi. There we go. I was going to read out the name, but we shouldn't sponsor the name of the company. But there you go.
Proud partners.
I take it they never done that again, did they? Aye.
That'd be great.
No, in the BBC budget, we're not going to have that.
No, I'll just be like, we've sectioned off a bit of the Clyde, and we're having people sitting in there.
I know we're so close. We could have just done it for that doing. That'd be good. Maybe for the summer when the better weather comes in here.
We've got someone. Ross Wilson has said, it's not that Steve Clarke is bad or hasn't done a job. I just feel like almost all our managers would have done the same. He's no god. I don't know if he meant to say he's no god or no good, but
there's quite a big difference. Well, here's what I would say about that is this has obviously been speculation about him potentially going to Celtic after World Cup, which I don't think is going to happen, mainly because Celtic would probably have qualifiers quite near after the tournament. Although if we do get put out early enough, maybe we'll have time. But I wouldn't be in favour of it mainly because of the style of football, right? But I honestly could see it happening if Celtic don't get their finger out and appoint somebody like in enough time before it. Then it seems like the kind of thing that would happen. Or if we appoint somebody and it does go a sort of Russell Martin, Wilfred Nancy way, and he gets sacked after 2 months, I could see Clark coming in then instead of the ship. But I don't think a lot of Celtic fans would want him for the style of play specifically. But the thing is, I used to think this is why Gordon Strachan was quite a good Scotland manager, because the style of football was pretty rubbish, was at Celtic, but he done well in the Champions League ways. And obviously a lot of the times Scotland are playing, when you're playing qualifiers, and even obviously if you get to tournaments, which he didn't, is that you're playing teams better than you and you're trying to get a result against them. And that is obviously probably the case for Steve Clarke at Kilmarnock as well. It was like, you just need to know how to be hard to beat, get the best out of your players. And that is a good thing for a Scotland manager. And the thing is, that's why it's hard to argue him, because he has done that successfully now 3 times to get us to tournaments, 2 Euros and a World Cup now. And I think the next step for this team is to just go and have a good showing of herself, have a good few performances, win a game. Would be the next step, really.
I mean, when you watch back the kind of the group, the qualification group for the World Cup, and then you see the games like against Greece, and we were getting absolutely done, and then somehow managed to come out 3-1. You're like, how did we do that? It has made this kind of harder to beat, you know. And that's how that came in your tournament, like Greece did in the Euros that one year.
Absolutely,
they basically 1-0'd their way through it.
So you think Scotland can win the World Cup playing anti-football?
Let's get some uncle football in there as well. Do you know what I mean? Let's get all the relatives in and just park the bus.
No, I mean, that's the thing though. But it's like, see, especially for how long Scotland went without qualifying, would you not rather this no playing great but getting through and getting the feel good factor and all that back? Because I suppose here's the other question as well. See, if Steve Clarke did go after the World Cup, who would you replace him with?
Well, that's the thing. Would you go and get David Moyes or something like that? Is that
Moyes? I wouldn't hate Moyes, by the way.
I wouldn't hate it either.
Shout.
We've actually got. I just saw got a message from the producer that said mind the paninis, and I was like,
Oh, we've got
Like,
stickers.
I thought for a second it was like, what,
We're
we're
getting
paninis
half-time
in?
food. No. We're not being treated that well here, unfortunately.
We've got these incredible.
So what are these?
Something I've not had for a while. I think the last like football stickers I would have had I had a shiny Jim Jeffries. So
Were the comedian or the
Commander? Was it Jim Jeffries was Hearts and Commander, wasn't he?
was it a shiny Jim Jeffries or was it Jim Jeffries with a shiner? Black eye after a training bust up.
So we've got these. We've got the FIFA World Cup 2026 Adrenaline official trading kit. Nothing says adrenaline like wee cards. Includes 4 packets.
What is Adrenaline XL? That sounds like is that like a Durex competitor or something?
It sounds like something. It sounds like a protein bar you'd get in the back of your hand.
So some YouTuber, although technically I suppose now we're YouTubers, so maybe we should start our own protein bar.
Flogging gruel. That's it. It's the new thing.
Right. So who have we got here?
Well,
I've got a shiny
I'm struggling to try to open the
a
thing.
goal machine. Who is it? Alexander Sorloff. Who's he play for?
Sorloff. I know the name, but I couldn't tell you.
I think I got more. Who's I got? Oh, here, but Lionel Messi. Look at that.
Oh,
Beautiful.
well, you pulled a shiny Messi.
I don't know if it is that a shiny. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it looks
He's not as
shiny.
shiny as this guy.
Aye, but I mean,
You
looks
can't-
shiny enough.
I feel like a non-shiny Messi is better than a shiny MD else, in my opinion.
Aye,
Although
I mean,
maybe some Cristiano Ronaldo fans in the chat would disagree
that
with
might be a belter there, a shiny-ish Messi. Fidel Escobar.
He's not as shiny as he used to be.
Panama. No, he's not shiny, but you know what? He's still you still need to mark him, man.
So
mark
do
him.
you think you get like do you get online versions of Panini stickers these days? Do you think people can do it online and
You must
fill up their online magazine, or is it still, do they keep it to the tradition?
I should probably do this. Like I've saw like Pokemon people and all that doing this online.
So is this the official one for the tournament, or did they need to wait to near the time when they announce the squads?
No,
and
this
all
is
that?
official one.
There you go. Look at that.
I've got if you can see, I've got a Fidel Escobar, Maxim de Cooper, Ramon Sosa. I've got an Antonio Rudiger. That's not bad. That's not a bad
Rudiger.
one. Mustafa Mohamed, doubler. Ayub El Kabi. And I've got a shiny. What's that? KFA? Who's that?
Can we have for
KFA?
anyone watching in the chat? Can we have some good? If anyone's got any good Panini stories, any sticker stories, I don't know what that would entail, but I have no idea what that would mean.
I actually do have a good
Let's hear
Panini
it.
sticker story.
Let's hear it. I'll get
There was a
Martin
girl
as
that
well.
lived a couple of doors down for me, and one time she only needed one thing to finish her her sticker book, right?
Uh-huh.
So I traded her a few cards for what I said was. Mine, they used to do it, they would split it up, top half, bottom half of the player. So I traded her, what I said was Gabriel Amato's legs, but it was actually Lorenzo Amoruso's legs. I scammed her. And for the next week, she would wait outside my house and I'd have to jump like round the backs. And because she was older than me, she was going to kick my head in because I'd scammed her for Amato's legs. I've got it looks like I've got an icon shiny Bakuna. That's no bad. People will like that, eh?
I've got a shiny Mexico, just the badge of Mexico.
That's not
That sounds pretty good.
Somebody has got an absolute screamer at a top. I saw it. It was another like Adidas top, and
We've also got Kyoto Nakamura, who's I believe on the bench today for Japan.
well, let's
That's
hope he
pretty
stays on the bench if he's any good. What was I going to say there? It's gone. The thought's gone. I can't. I don't know whose it is. I think it looks like it could be like a Mexico shirt because it reminds me of their older shirts. It's an absolute belter.
No, this. There's one that looks like a Scotland tap in here, but I don't know what country that is. Who's this guy? What country is this?
Remember, you've got a limited edition inside there as well. That'll be a belter. That.
Oh, was that just one card?
Oh, it must be. That's what you're paying.
What
the money.
country is that? Would you say the?
Do you know what? I couldn't tell you.
I don't know who.
I've never seen
Who
that
does
flag before in my
Jury
life.
and Gary play for?
Judy and Gary. He sounds like a.
Because it looks like a
Sounds
Scotland
like a
tap, and
guy.
then you just see that the badge is obviously different.
Oh, I've
And
got
then you're
one
like-
of the many Brazilian Danilos. Probably the good one.
Here's a theory I've got, right, about names of players, because I think sometimes weirdly you just never hear a name, and then somebody will have the same name, and there'll be a few players at the same time with that name.
Yeah.
Dembele was one a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
There's so many Dembeles at the one time, and it happens now and again with different players.
Was Jorginho no one as well?
Juninho was one. There was a Juninho at Celtic in Middlesbrough, and there was a guy at Leon called Juninho. But that all happens a lot. You don't hear a name, and then there's a few other ones. There's ones in the Premier League I'm trying to think of.
Of course, KFA's Korean, South Korea.
Ah.
Oh, I've got a shiny Saudi. Yeah, no bad, eh?
I'll get you.
I'm just going to move past it.
That'll get you the World Cup.
Just going to move past it. Oh, I got a shiny Harry Suter, Australia. That's a collector's one
You
there.
trade that for a Suter that plays for Rangers.
I wouldn't want to.
Oh, I've got a Van Dijk, limited edition Virgil Van Dijk. I'll take that. Happy days. Do you think we could
Scousman will take that off you in a heart.
Absolutely, I might keep that for myself. Marcus Thuram as well. So how about, can I sell these? Do you think I'll get money for these on the I don't know, the dark web? Where do people sell these? I don't know.
It is one of the things. It's huge. Like opening packs of stickers and all that is huge.
Yeah, it's quite
people do that for their job.
This is an unboxing or an unveiling. It's good. They're just showing the Denmark game now. They've got an Andy Robertson interview on the telly. You don't want to listen to him. You want to listen to us. Did I tell you we befriended Andy's? I think he's his brother at the Euros. We actually met them at this party thing we went to the night before, and then but we were so steaming. Then we actually met them at the game, and they like waved at us like, all right. And then for a second I'm like, oh, they must just be fans. It's the captain of Scotland's bra. I'm like, I was like, oh, that's it. That's.
And a very similar scenario the last time I went to tea in the park, and I crawled out my tent after a pretty heavy night, and there was people a few tents away from me. They're like, "Oh, Rosco, how you doing?" And I was like, "I've never met you before in my life."
Calvin Harris.
They were genuinely. It was just random. It was people who were like, "What? You were with us all night?" And I was like,
Aye.
"I'm sorry, I don't remember you." I had to crawl back into my tent, and I had the fear for the full day.
I bet you they now see you and they go like that. Oh, we hung about. He had no memory at the time. Never mind anything else. Christian Eriksen. That's a good one to hold on to. In case something happens to him. Well, he's not actually going to. Well, Denmark aren't even in it yet, technically.
Not yet, no.
Obviously, because it is.
I've got a wee Bart Verbruggen here.
A master rookie.
Oh, that'll be good.
A master rookie card. Estevao.
I've got a shiny goal machine, Marcus Rashford. So there you go. That looks good.
He's no guaranteed to make the squad because Tuchel, well, he didn't put Alexander. What do you call him? I always try and call him Alexander Armstrong. Who's? I wonder if he is going to be on the plane for England. But no, he never brought Trent in the game the other night, and like he's no guaranteeing him to a place in that England squad.
I know, that's the thing. That's a cool. Japan always smash it with dressing up, don't they?
There's a big culture of they like a mascot there. Like
they love a mascot.
In Japan.
Even like cleaning up's got a mascot, and like paper cups have got a mascot.
Speaking of which, I've got Zayu as my mascot. Whatever
who's
that is.
The mascot of?
If I knew,
Mexico looks like.
if I knew that flag, I would know.
Looks like the Mexican flag.
Looks a wee bit like that.
I've got John Stones, Pedro Neto. This feels like
I've got a shiny Florian Wirtz, I know, by the way.
Oh, not bad. I've got Angus Gunn, hero. There you go. Brilliant. Finally pulled a Scotland player.
I've not had a single one.
That'll be going right in my
probably forgot we were in the tournament. The Penini people. Well, no, they never qualified, did they?
I've got a shiny Germany badge. That's pretty cool. That is actually kind of cool. But really, I'm an old guy sitting here going, I've ripped my cards, but now I've pulled a shiny Germany. The wee boy inside me is like, that's actually pretty cool, and I might get some more packs.
Well, I've got Grant Hanley, so there you go. That's
perfect.
So that's ruined all my enthusiasm for it.
And shiny Minamino, that's actually not bad. Shiny Minamino, that's pretty good. He's Liverpool as well, isn't he? He was. Right, not anymore.
Right, well. That's killed all the time and a half time.
Well, I've got one more. I've got my limited edition card. So let's see if this is a. If it's a Scott McTominay, if it's a Scott McTominay, we'll auction it off in the chat.
Do they need to have the modules running, or do you think they could just use the one of him doing the overhead kick? That is honestly one of the most. That's going to just be an iconic moment forever, isn't it? And that, just that picture of him like that. That's like one of the. You could use that. That's like his Michael Jordan logo, isn't it? Like.
I actually got 2 cards in limited edition one. Did you get 2 cards?
I got 2.
Oh, right. I thought I'd got a special. I got Saka. Bukayo Saka. That's not bad. Someone else.
Marcus Thuram, I know.
Yeah, I got Chris Wood. Is that New Zealand? I'm like, who wants that?
There's a lot of Kiwis out there. I'll be like that.
I'll take that to. I'm away to New Zealand, so I'll take that with me.
I thought that was a sub, but it's just somebody. It looks as though he's showing the boys the match program there, but.
He's probably showing them that he's got. I've got this limited edition Grant Hanley card I just pulled.
Jack Hendry's a funny one because he was obviously at Celtic and he was never great, but then he went abroad. I'm not sure where he is. Is he in Saudi? Is he? Because he was in. I think he went to Australia and he was in somewhere in France or something, or Belgium. Was it Belgium? Aye. And he's an interesting career, but Steve Clarke obviously likes him, doesn't he?
Aye. How come Steve Clarke's not wearing the new tracky top? How come he's out there in the old top?
Yeah, he's free. He's got a jacket. He's freezing. What do you think managers like know how the pep thing that they all do these days, and Liam Rossini's another one where they all look like they're dressed like M&S or whatever. They're all kind of looking. It's kind of smart casual gear. With the trainers, with the wee white bit.
I don't like it. You're either going like full trackies or full suit.
Oh well, of course.
I think there's nowhere in between.
Well, you don't even get a choice if you're the manager of the team you support.
Well, that is true. Yeah,
the brown brogues all the way.
It's always good when you see when you're playing against like the Italian team and you see the manager out there and you're like, it's class, and you're like, that's what it's all about, man.
But what would he be wearing? A nice suit? Or when Mancini was the manager?
They're always. I think they get a belter of a suit.
But he's just going to look nicer anyway. Because imagine a Scottish manager with his hairdo, even wouldn't he? They just look cool because they're Italian.
Aye, if Steve Clarke had like a swept back kind of bob, would they be the same? Would it?
I would love that though. Love to see Steve Clarke. He's went to Turkey in between qualifying and the tournament.
Tell us in the chat what sort of hairdos you'd like Steve Clarke to have. Let us know.
I'd like to have that big, just like blonde, luscious hair. Who's that guy? Was he at Hearts and now he's like the Aston Villa assistant or something? Austin McPhee.
Oh,
is that what he does now? Set piece specialist. I'd like to see. What's that? Is he? What is he? Well, I would like to see Steve Clarke with Austin McPhee's hair. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I love that Rangers got a set piece specialist this year whose tactics seems to have been see the big tall ones, kick it to them.
Aye, that's
kick it to the tall people. Going in.
Oh, I was unlucky.
That was unlucky.
Is he? To Martinez? Is Martinez still the head coach?
Wow,
that's interesting.
What is because was Maloney not at Portugal?
Well, there's talk that Martinez might go to Celtic because Maloney was like he played for Martinez at Wigan, and I think he was assistant coach at Belgium for a while. I want to say.
Oh, it was Belgium, wasn't it?
Aye.
That's interesting. Robin Lawrence has said, I'd like to see Steve Clarke with a mullet with pink highlights, and I think that'd be lovely.
That'd be good. He wouldn't get through the security for America. They'd think he was a liberal woke snowflake. Looks as though he's going to protest ICE or whatever. That was a good ball for Robbo. That was a really good ball for Robbo.
Just a bit too high from there. Ryan Gill said, when you have crap attacking players and centre backs, and you have to play crap football.
I would say 100%. And because Steve Clarke, obviously, like that, he probably does have a more defensive style of play naturally, but again, you can only use the players you've got. And I do think that's been a problem because we've had a certain quality of player we've not had when it comes to midfield and to a lesser extent the defence. But it is up front that, like, see if we had. Here's a good question, right? See a player for another era in Scotland, maybe no, like obviously back in the Kenny Dalglish days or whatever, but see for like the last 20 years, if you could have one player to put in this team, and the one that I would say honestly would be James McFadden, but you just have him maybe half the striker, but just he would just be such a goal threat, I think.
And interesting, I would actually go with Chris Boyd because
Do you know what?
he was a goal machine.
Not a bad shout. But did he score that many for Scotland, Chris Boyd?
Not really. He did. But then he popped up when we needed it.
I hate to say it, but see if you had the option of him and Kenny Miller up front in this team, it would be a lot better. 7 goals in 18 games for Scotland, Boyd.
He never really got a big run.
No,
Scotland.
I remember him scoring 1 goal, I think, for Scotland in a big game in Hampden.
Aye,
but
I just think he was always such a goal scorer. He would just he was just.
He's a poacher, but wasn't he? That was the thing.
He just put the ball in the back of the net.
Aye.
Regardless, any scenario, he's just like, I'm hitting this.
You just need a guy like that in this. You just need something.
Aye. Like that McTominay chance earlier. If that's Chris Boyd, it's in the back of the net. You just know it.
Yeah,
you know?
probably so.
He would. I think from my memories of him, he would rarely miss. But then because he was a big lad.
Yeah,
he wasn't in those positions all the time. But when he was in the position, it was pretty sure it's in the back of the net.
Who else would you? I would like somebody that comes to me and be like Darren Fletcher as well. But then you wouldn't. We don't need more centre mids in this team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, McTominay's just a Dan Fletcher regen in my mind.
He kind of is actually. Sean Maloney, not a bad shout.
Sean Maloney. Also, I liked Naismith as well in the wing. Maloney and Naismith are two.
Naismith would be good in this team. Actually, Steve Naismith would be good in this team.
He was always. When I played football, I hated playing against wingers. Let him just.
Well, was Tino Mori a kind of? Because did Tino end up Mori as like a kind of off the striker kind of guy? Because he done well for Everton when he went there.
He was always. Oh, that's a good
what
ball,
ball! On you go, son. Come on, McTominay.
You kind of give him a bit of hospital ball. They put it in front of him. Is what I say. But that's a good spot for a free kick. That's a good place.
And who's taking this free kick? That's another thing. Who's our kind of dead ball?
Have it? Is it going to be McGinn?
Well, no for that side because it's more on the left. But John's like probably more better at kind of crossing it in. But no, maybe I wouldn't say he's necessarily known for the kind of having a strike at goal from a free kick.
I might as well let McTominay take it. He can do everything else.
I would say that actually.
Just let him do everything, really. No. Colin Three's saying Steve Clark with a pompadour. I think that would be nice.
What's that one?
Pompadour's like a kind of, it's like up and it goes like up and then down at the back. It's just got that wee kind of big, round, fluffy bit at the front. I think, I'm not entirely sure, but that's what it is in my mind. Kind of like a fancy.
Well, there you go. Kenny McLelland, of course, famously good from out.
It's too close from
far away.
Too close from him.
Get it back to the halfway line. Should be taking it for kick-off.
There you go.
Oh, that was a great shot there for McTominay.
Did the keeper put that over?
Keeper put it over the bar. But it was one of the ones that looked as though with that had maybe smacked the bar if he didn't do that. It's hard to say.
Aye. But I say this young keeper they've got is decent. So
second corner of the game for Scotland, is it? Lewis Ferguson
taking it. I saw Ferguson unnecessarily having a bit of a kick at Maeda earlier, and I thought, old habits die hard there.
Would you take him at Rangers, Lewis Ferguson? Do you think he's good enough?
Aye, for sure. I mean, he's a good player. He's an international player, and he's playing at a decent level. So 100%.
But it's like we were saying earlier on about the Serie A. Like you can't really tell, how good it is, I suppose. But did he not win like Player of the Season there last year or something? Or was it just for his team?
For them, I think he did.
It was for Bologna, wasn't he, for Serie A? That would probably been McTominay, surely. One Coppa Italia, aye.
And I think any player that's a national team player, you've certainly got to have a look at, unless it's Stephen O'Donnell.
Yeah. And
then you go, leave it. Although, is he playing for Motherwell still? Like, is he getting a lot of game time, or is he still even at Motherwell?
I'm not even sure, to be honest. I think he is. I think he might be, actually.
That feels like a long time ago.
But then it just shows you with like the club teams, because I do think a lot of this Celtic players under Rodgers the first time done better for Scotland when he was there. And I think so maybe there'll be a few boys in the Motherwell team.
Yeah.
And might see Paul McGinn in the Scotland setup for World Cup. You never know.
Maybe you might.
I'd love to see that. But they were saying there was a few boys that didn't get a chance that they were kind of hoping would make the squad. But I think Clark's kind of setting his ways into the players that he likes, and he's not going to change too much between now and the tournament.
Oh, that is a good bit of work there. Who was that? They set it back.
Done well there.
You shielded that well there. That was a good.
The one thing I would
defensive play there.
One thing I would say as well, that obviously, like, what was great about qualifying was that for a lot of these boys, it's kind of like they've done so well. This whole squad's done so well for Scotland, and it's great. A lot of them will be their kind of final hurrah probably for the national team. So it's great to
like
see
Robertson
them
and that.
Robertson, John, they're all kind of about that kind of like couple of years beyond 30, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's good to see them all get that chance, which they obviously deserve. But and then I think probably between the manager and a lot of the players, it's like what happens for Scotland next is kind of they'll think about that after the tournament. Well done, Robertson. Superb. Oh, what a run that was for Andy Robertson.
Aye, I think you need that. We're a wee bit. I think we look a wee bit narrow attacking wise.
Yeah,
we seem to be just taking it right in the middle. Obviously, if you've got like your dokes on and stuff, you're like, well, let's go wide.
Andy Robertson's arguably one of our best attacking players, and he's left back.
He does push. I think
that was great. That's the best move of the game.
I know, right behind you, and that.
In a weird way, see the fact that he's not been playing as much for Liverpool this, he's still not been knackered by the end of the season. You know what I mean?
that's.
And then like John's just been out injured, and then I think one or two of the others have. So in a weird way, it's like really good to have them kind of just coming back. And
I think it is looking good. A lot of the players are coming back, and just at the right time.
This is our pre-season now, and then
that's
get ready for the World Cup.
Because McGinn's back, and he's on a wee bit of run of form now as well.
Aye, he scored a couple of goals recently. Aye.
So let's capitalise on that.
Oh,
not good enough there.
Dyson again.
Yeah.
Still not done anything good in this game yet.
And can you blame the part today?
You can.
I don't
think he's wanting a move away from Japan as far as I think you're allowed to do that in international football. So you can't down tools. Blame down in tools for that.
So I mean, listen, if this ends on nothing each, then it's technically a good result for Scotland.
It's felt a wee bit like a sort of training game, hasn't it? To be honest.
I don't think they're going, full pelt. But it's not like they've put a that weak a team out.
No, I'll be interested to see when we start making some changes. I'm sort of surprised we've not made as many yet.
Steve Clark seems to kind of leave it a wee bit later than you think he should.
All
the time. I would like to see a couple of options out wide and stuff like that. And
I thought he'd change the defence as well, to be honest, because there's a few. It's kind of hard to. He does sort of change it game to game depending on the opposition as well, who plays at centre back.
Yeah.
Because sometimes he prefers Hanley and Suter, or sometimes he'll prefer your Hendry or whatever as well.
I much prefer. We've got a picture here of Steve Clark with Austin McPhee's hair.
Brilliant.
And I don't know if we can bring that up on screen or if I can just walk over to the
camera.
over to the thing and show. I'll do it. It's YouTube. It's live.
We really do whatever we want.
We'll see if this.
Look as though is that the screen that the people are seeing at home? Because if so, it'll just look as though I'm I wanted it to look as though I was doing a live stream with Steve Clark wearing a wig. Which should be a career highlight for sure.
Well, let me tell you, Steve Clark with Austin McPhee's hair on him, it looks like
it's giving Stephen Presley is what I would say.
It is giving Stephen Presley, isn't it?
Because this is what I go back to earlier on. You were saying about like some Mancini, like the Italians wearing the suit. I think the thing is, if you try and look too cool as a Scottish guy with the hairdo and all that, you just do look like Stephen Presley.
That picture,
and listen, make it that way you will if you think that's a good or a bad thing, but I'm not going to say
that picture reminded me of a guy, just the image I have in my head of a guy who the first time I went to London screamed at me in Leicester Square after he pulled his head from a bin where he was raking.
Right. So you're saying that Steve Clark with hair would look like a bin raker?
Aye, basically, aye. But then what happened? The guy shouted at me, and then it turned out I was like, what? And then when he heard I was Scottish as well, he was like, oh, where are you from? Where are you from? It turned out he was a guy from Dundee, raking the bins in Leicester Square. And he was actually pretty sound after that.
Yeah, well, he's came away thinking that he's going to be anonymous down there, and then he meets a fellow Scot and
That's
suddenly he sort of sees himself from the outside.
Yeah. It was a lovely wee moment.
To see ourselves as others see us, to quote Robert Burns. I think that's actually what Burns was talking about when he wrote that poem.
A guy raking the bins and screaming at him in London. What's that we've got there? The Alan Hasley said, the remember Bannockburn 13-14 Saltire in the corner is presumably for Craig Gordon, who was playing for the under-18s at the time.
That was some result up there. On Bannockburn.
13-14, a real goal fest that was.
Yes, let's there it is.
Look at that. That's beautiful, isn't it?
Steve Clark with Austin McPhee's here.
Some boy.
Do you think that if Austin McPhee cut his hair, he would no longer be a set piece specialist? Like a sort of
a Lazarus thing?
No, I think is it? What was it? Was that Goliath? No, wasn't it Lazarus? Lazarus
Was
came
Lazarus
back
not the hair? No.
and it wasn't Goliath. Who was the guy that cut his hair and lost his power? Was it Goliath?
I don't know.
That's
Right, and if you know who cut their hair,
It was Samson.
That's it.
Samson. I'm presuming that Austin McPhee is Samson. Who thought we'd get here 60 minutes into the live stream? But I think we're all losing our mind at this point. We need a goal. What other biblical figures are in the Scotland coaching department?
Oh, Colin 3 said number 1, absolute stallion. Well, there you go. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. And I think that's, look at him. What a beautiful guy.
Yeah.
We hair like that. I've got a story about when I saw Steve Clark in the wild, and I've Ray Bradshaw, another fantastic Scottish comedian, good friend,
who
says,
obviously was not free for this today.
he already had a ticket for the game. He was already doing some kind of corporate work, but he says that
I'd like to see it. Can anyone make Ray Bradshaw with Austin McPhee's hair, please?
I would like to see Ray Bradshaw with his beard just turned around on his head.
Yes,
that'd be fantastic.
Absolutely. So this is how you met Steve Clark?
Well, I walked past him in a B&Q in East Kilbride, right? And my memory of it is he was walking around and he was carrying a basket, and he had just a tin of paint in the basket.
Right.
But I remember thinking, that tin of paint's got a handle on it. So you could just carry a tin of paint.
Your question is his tactics when it comes to shopping and B&Q.
I am.
What if he was going to pick? Surely he was going to pick something else up.
Well,
he's not just going in there for a tin of paint. He's Scotland manager.
All I had in my head was I seen him. I can only go by what I saw. Do you know what I mean?
Which B&Q was it?
East Kilbride. Good B&Q, that.
Is that right?
Aye, it's good. I need to get a new lawn more. That's my next thing I need to do.
Is that right?
I had a battery power.
What's your job? Are you the groundskeeper at Tannadice? What's going on?
No, I've been buying one of the things that used to sift the sand.
Gritter. That's a lot of changes. There's Nakamura coming on. They've got him as my card here. I wonder. I presume it's probably a common name in Japan, isn't it? I'm sure he's not actually related to.
There'll be a lot of Nakamuras.
There's Dyson having done absolutely nothing all game as he's done all season.
There you go. It's good that, especially when your captain's not done nothing, when you swap the armband.
He's got Austin McPhee's hair, kind of. The closest we've seen thus far.
That was a wild cut, pan, and zoom there for the camera operator. I hope everything's all right.
John coming off.
Robert Blank said, play Findlay. Things happen when he goes forward. We don't need to see Ryan. We know we can do it. That's right. That is right. We don't need to see Christie. We know what Christie's game is.
This boy Hurst has just come on. A lot of people have questioned what he's bringing to the team because, I heard Tom English saying it's certainly not goals. So...
Well, I've got a point there. I mean, is there not anyone else who's a Scottish player who's scoring?
He has scored 9 times in the championship. Who's he playing for? Ipswich. They've certainly been in the news this week. Aye. I think did they announce Farage as our new manager or something? Was that what's happening? I didn't pay too much attention.
A takeover? Like, no, no takeovers here. Put it back to the way it was. The good old days.
So who do you think is going to score the own goal against Brazil?
Oh. That
I hope it's a McTominay overhead kick into his own net. That's personally.
That boils my blood thinking about that, man. Tom Boyd. What were you doing, Boyd? Tom Boyd running back to his own goal.
What's the Tom Dane goalie?
I went on I think just before that World Cup as well. And it was my dad on one of those like kind of silent auction things at like kind of Fitbit night, and he won basically for me and my pals to go and do a tour at Hampden.
Nice.
And we met Tom Boyd, and I got a photo with him, and he had a beanie hat on, and the top it was kind of sticking up a wee bit.
Brilliant.
And I always just think Tom Boyd looks a bit like an onion. That's my thing.
Tom Boyd looks like an onion.
He had a pure pointy head in that picture.
Have I told you about my time when I was a wee guy and I went to Hampden?
You have, and I think that's a good story for you to tell.
I was I believe I was still in the Cubs rather than the Scouts, in the Cub Scouts. And we went to see Scotland v France. I think it was about 2000, just after France had became. They were world champions, and I think it was either just before or just after they became European champions as well. And Scotland lost about 4-0, so I can't remember what the game was. But it was but after the match, we were all walking back to the buses, and I one of my mates sort of ran away from me and split me up for the rest of the group. And there was a big group kind of went by. So by the time everything cleared, I'd lost everybody. So obviously I was like 9 or something, so I went like straight to a steward, and I says, "Oh, I'm lost." And they took me to the reception at Hampden. And so I'm just sitting there, and I always remember I was sitting across for I think it was Desai and Emmanuel Petit, and I was just waiting, and basically just phoned my dad, and he was going to come up and get me, and obviously it would take a while for Clydebank, whatever. So while I was waiting, somebody at what's at Hampden was just like, "Oh well," like just took me around and let me meet some of the players. So I remember meeting like Colin Hendry, and I got my programme signed by everybody, and I met Craig Brown, and he was like, "Oh, where are you from?" and I was just like, "Clydebank," and then I met him.
He plays a striker.
Well, the funny thing was, because I then met him about 5 minutes later, and they said to me, "Have you not got back to Clydebank yet?" And I went, "It's that lack of positional awareness that really struggled against." But it was so good, and I got to meet them on McNamara, and I got them all to sign my programme, still getting in the house, and then they let me go in the dressing rooms. I always remember the smell of the mud for all the boots. And like they had all the fruit and all that, and then they let me go out into the park at Hampden and go up to the wee bit where you would lift the trophy, and I had a wee bottle of Coke or something like that, and I lifted it up. It was such an absolute buzz for being a wee guy. But the whole thing was that the Scouts, meanwhile, they were out searching for me, but nobody thought to come just to reception, see if I was there. And there was a boy who was on the larger side called Craig Ingalls, and everybody, the rumour was going about that he'd ate me. Ingalls has ate Jennings, as I was saying. Then,
oh no, here we go.
That was the conspiracy theory.
Oh no, come on. No, come on, don't get turned like that.
Oh,
there you go. I love that you had a kind of Home Alone.
It was Home Alone code. It was like if Home Alone was set in the Scottish football.
You're setting up like, traps to try and keep like Desai from getting.
Aye, but instead, but what would have happened if it was a film? It's like instead of being in like a van with John Candy, it'd have been like me, Craig Brown would have taken me back home in the Scotland team bus or something like that, and it'd have been a great time. But it was it was quite cool, man.
Instead of like polka music, he's putting on what was it called? Tack the Floor.
Whatever it is that comes on Radio Scotland after Sports Sound. That Take the Floor thing always sounds like it sounds like a parody of what people think is on Radio Scotland. It's just like, and now it's Take the Floor. You're like, what is this the radio for 100 years ago?
By the way, I love it.
You like Take the Floor?
Sadly, it's been taken off now, which is a shame,
No, it's on the night after Sports Sound, I've seen. Or whatever it's called.
Tack the Floor?
Tack the Floor. They should get like some modern, because the Scottish folk scene's quite big
On
now.
the floor?
Beluga Lagoon and all these people in it. There you go, it's on at 8 o'clock.
Well, I'll be tuning in.
Because as you go, I'll try and find it try and hear the post-match interview with the manager or whatever, and then it's just bagpipes. What is this?
By the way, this is a good comment. What I was saying earlier, Kyle Hill said if Brazil play the same way they did the other night against France, they might only win 4-0 against us. But I do think Brazil maybe know the team that they once were. I mean, I know they've got like Vinicius Junior and stuff like that. And he got some other good players.
Rivaldo, he's still kicking a ball. This must be his last tournament,
They're
surely.
bringing Roberto Carlos out of cryogenic leg freezing chamber, ping free kicks against us.
Well, it's one of the ones though. It's like you could still see them getting to like a quarters or a semi or whatever. But maybe this is the year. I don't know who they've got in their team, but because is Richarlison getting a game for them? Because he is. If you've got somebody like him, kind of as your main striker, you're going, they can't be as good as they used to be. But by Vinny Junior. Neymar, what's he? Is he?
Neymar's done.
He's done, is he?
His legs have.
So will he not
apart.
even make the squad for Brazil?
I don't think so. No, I wouldn't think so.
There you go.
Nah, he had his big chance. Oh,
Neymar.
Aye.
That should be a Proclaimers track.
I think he had his chance in the last World Cup. Do you know what I mean? That was his, and then was it the last World Cup? What was the one that Germany absolutely smashed them in their back garden?
Was that no?
Aye,
wasn't it?
Brazil, aye.
That was right.
14. Well, what's
McTominay getting megged there.
I guess I've forgotten about 10 years of my life or
I know.
something there.
Well, there's a few of them that are kind of like that. The South Africa one was like, it was mad how long ago that was now, and there's been quite a few who went by since. And obviously, what was the last one? Qatar. You know what I mean?
Aye. And I would like to say, at 8 p.m, Take the Floor, Jack Delaney Scottish Dance Band and David Halcrow Scottish Dance Band.
Yeah.
For the very best in traditional music and song, join Gary Innes for Take the Floor.
We've been told if we don't do that, we're never getting back on Radio Scotland again. Honestly, it's brilliant.
But I like it, I actually like I'll be driving to gigs and stuff, and I'm like, play that one. Just get a bit of culture in me. Oh, here comes Gilmore. There you go.
Everything sounds like it's been played on an accordion. That's what I would
Everything
say.
has been played on an accordion. That's the only instrument they're using.
Tierney's coming on for Robertson. A lot of speculation about Robertson's future. He's out of contract at the end of the season at Liverpool. I would love to see him at Celtic personally. But again, it's Celtic would then have the same problem that Scotland have got, where they've got Tierney and Robertson.
And you would like to have Robertson at Celtic?
Absolutely.
It feels like Celtic becoming a bit of a kind of
retirement home,
Premiership graveyard right now.
It's mainly for goalies, but
I mean like Oxlade Chamberlain.
I know, but there's always one or two of them at Celtic, and then or Celtic or Rangers with people coming
We're
up.
getting some trash talk coming in from
Gilmore coming on for McTominay and Robertson coming on for Tierney. That's like let's just swap the same guy out basically for each other.
Aye, that's like when you let like a Football Manager game, you let the auto sub.
Aye,
just goes the same person, but
like
they're not as tired.
Yeah.
We've got some trash talk coming in. Scotland, hand on face palm emoji, 2 laughing crying emoji. You are nothing. ... Don't go to USA. Face palm emoji. It's drama. ... Maybe 0-0 with Haiti, and then like 5 laughing emojis. Shut up.
It's good to know. It's good to know our main engagement seems to be coming from bots here.
Yeah. Shut up, man. How about you learn how to form a proper sentence, and then you can come back and try and say that Scotland are nothing. You're nothing. You're nothing. Anyway, it's great to be here, and keep the comments rolling in, please, if you can.
What's your favourite World Cup memory, Rosco?
My favourite World Cup memory was the Vuvuzelas. I loved it.
You did love it.
I loved the Vuvuzelas. I thought it was some laugh.
Oh, I can't say that I enjoyed them, to be honest, and I'm glad that I think they were a blight on the game, and there's no place for it in the modern era, much like the 2-footed tackle.
Actually, another World Cup. I love a World Cup. I love a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favourite thing. And I've actually got loads of good memories from him. The one where I'd done my knee playing football like the day before the World Cup started, and I had to cancel all my gigs and stuff, and I just got to sit in the flat that we stayed in at the time and basically just watch all the World Cup. It was amazing. I was like, yes.
Is there a better time to be bedbound than when a tournament is on?
No, it was brilliant.
Because that is because suddenly you can just schedule your day around the games. And that'd be
it was
amazing.
like this 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, maybe sometimes 9 o'clock games, and I was like, this is perfect.
Absolutely.
This is what living's all about.
No, it's great.
Not being able to bend your knee or walk without crutches for 3 months, but At least there's.
It does
At
get you
least I
through.
can watch Iran versus Tunisia in the afternoon or
No, I
something.
know. Well, I had a similar experience with bereavement. I'll not go any darker than that, but it was right before the Euros, and honestly, just see you being able to just watch games like you did value. You go, this actually just shows you how much football is powerful for actually getting people through stuff. Because suddenly you just go, I've got something to focus on that isn't that, and it takes your mind off it. So in that way, these people are all heroes. But because the main thing I was saying, no, but it's like see the World Cup '98. I was only 8, and I didn't even watch the Scotland games. I remember it kind of being on, but I don't remember what. The only thing I remember like playing outside, playing football, and like slagging Tom. We were like going, "Oh, you're Tom Boyd," because he'd scored the own goal.
Yeah.
But that was it.
You've got a heel like an onion. Like, what? Doesn't make sense to me right now.
You didn't wear the onion bag over your head. But do you remember watching any of that World Cup '98?
I remember it. Yeah, I remember going down to my friends. We all kind of went to one of our friends' house for the first game.
Yeah.
To watch it in his house. I mean, his dad must have been raging because his dad's had to like go, "Oh, we're the house that's hosting all the wee boys." You know what I mean for this game. You probably wanted to go to the pub and watch it or something like that.
But, cool. That's a nice thing, isn't it?
But yeah, so
Every time I was thinking I was looking a bit dark. Yeah. Is that because we're losing the sunlight?
we're losing the natural light beaming off the armadillo. If this ends a 0-0, I'm not too disappointed with this. To be honest, it's a good result against a higher level team.
We've not been run over the top of, that's for sure.
No, they hit the bar, we hit the post. That's kind of.
Do you think we need to play for that? Do you think we need to play for the result now, or is it just a case of just getting a wee bit of...
No, I would say if I was him, I'd go, let's switch it up and try some stuff against that high level team. But then, do things like this really matter in terms of the psyche of a footballer? Like, I guess you don't want to lose. But it's
I don't think people even remember, to be honest. Like, see, by the time the tournament rolls in, we'll not even remember these games or anything like that. I don't think. Maybe the players, it's different for them. I don't know, but I just kind of seen this one out. Who did we play? Is it Tuesday we play again? Ivory Coast. That'll be a decent game and all. Is that away or at home? In Liverpool?
Liverpool.
Is that... I did... Oh, right. So they're posting Liverpool. Because I actually seen a thing the other day that the Hill Dickinson Stadium, which, by the way, I've just learned Hill Dickinson was not a guy who used to play for Everton. It's actually a brand.
Is it really?
I seen the sign somewhere, and I was like, oh, I just thought that was like a get. I thought it was like calling it like
like some like old.
The Tim Cahill Stadium or something.
Names back in the day were like
Hill Dickinson sounds like a guy that scored like 400 goals for Everton, and like.
And here he is, Hill Dickinson.
That does, but apparently it's apparently it's like a brand. Don't know what it is. But whatever it is, other things of that are available, and
other hills are available.
Other hills, and well,
that's
still got it.
We'll move past that.
We'll move past that. But because I seen a thing the stadium are doing like all the food, the catering is like there was like it was like a donut or something. It was like half Scotland and half Ivory Coast, and I was struggling to figure it because I was like, why are they doing this? And everyone said
that's you half and half flag into it, the half and half scarf.
But they've got deep fried Mars bar, but battered Mars bar with whiskey custard, haggis and smoked bacon pizza. Some of it does sound class, to be honest.
I tell you what, it shows how crazy going to being at Scottish football regularly. I was hearing about that whiskey custard, and I was like, wonder how many of them I could buy so I could get mad with it.
Aye. How many whiskey custards can you eat and still drive? That'd be amazing though. I've never had a deep fried Mars bar, have you?
I've never had it, no. I don't even know if I've seen one.
No, I'm a modern Scottish man, so I air fry my Mars bars now. That's
good. Put that in the show.
That's in my act. That's in my act. Nice. But but I haven't ever had a deep fried Mars bar. I would like to try it just to see what it's like.
Aye. I bet it just tastes like a Mars bar.
It
would be crazy if it didn't. Do you know?
It's like,
if it didn't,
it's probably the equivalent I've had is a pizza crunch, which is obviously just a pizza, but it's got batter in it.
I did like a pizza crunch when I was younger.
And I would say that John McGinn has done amazing to get in the Scotland team, considering that there used to be a van outside our school that like basically everybody went to every day and just got one of them for lunch. That was the nutrition when we were at school, and somehow he's made it through, like a rose through the concrete. He's managed to there.
That's got to be better there. That pass across the middle. There
That was good for Tierney.
Here we go. Right. Oh, it's not a bad ball, but is he off? No, he's not. Gone then.
Oh! That was some chance. I looked as it was in. That's your Hurst there, and all.
See, if he'd have scored there, then that changes the whole. It's like, well, if he can score against
narrative.
these teams, aye.
That was a good interception.
It was a good one. Good
I
one
think he
for
was
him.
offside.
It was tight, wasn't it?
Have we got is VR even in this game? I know. It don't seem to have used it yet.
Aye, there'd be no real use to have VAR on in a friendly. I mean, they had VAR in that England game last night, and they didn't use it. So
a dull fixture.
That's why Phil Foden. It was a bit of a horror tackle.
I never seen that tackle where it was a bad eye.
It was a real like, oh, if that had been slightly different, it's a leg breaker and his World Cup's over.
You do wonder as well with these players. I mean, obviously still a good bit of the season left, but you do wonder in these type of games, is everybody taking it even that wee bit easier because you just don't want to get injured.
Aye,
you wouldn't want to get injured in a friendly like this, would you?
Not Uruguay. Uruguay were not taking it easy. But
Uruguay
Uruguay have a history of being dark arts, mental football players now, like Suarez biting people.
Well, listen, it's against England. I don't necessarily mind that.
Well, exactly. That's the thing. Other countries that we dislike are available.
Do you think England have got a chance to win it? Do you think
I don't see it. No, they had their chance the last couple of tournaments.
It's a bit of a sort of dark horse to know what they'll be like under Tuchel at the tournament, isn't it? Because obviously it's been the kind of Southgate era.
Yeah.
And so they've done well in the they've won. It's kind of like they've just won all the qualifiers boringly.
Aye. And they'll get out the group. Do you know what I mean? Like they're playing like Panama. You know, I'm like, of course you're going to win against a canal. Do you know what I mean?
There's hanging coming on. Oh, there's your Curtis, and then Ralston's coming on with his hairdo that apparently doesn't suit. He's coming out, and again, it's a like for like swap with a hairdo. Patterson out.
You get it. That was like I had for a while. Remember, I had that like my hair was long, but I had an undercut, and I was like tying it back. I got in a taxi at like 4 a.m. to go to the airport once, and I didn't even think about it. Jumped in the front seat, looked to the side of me. Taxi driver had the exact same beard, exact same haircut, and I was like, "Oh no, man." It was so embarrassing. We looked like the world tag team champions driving about, man. It was crazy.
Did it come up or did you no reference it?
Neither of us referenced it. I messaged my pals who were picking up like, don't say anything about this. This is going to look like Matt and Jeff Hardy here. This looks crazy, man.
Hardy boys.
Kyle Hills said, why is a haggis supper no called a haggis crunch? I'm just here to ask the important questions that everyone else is too scared to ask. It's a good idea.
Well, because it's like you don't call it a sausage crunch either. So it's like it's just taken for granted that the sausage is going to be in batter at the chippy and the haggis is escape. It's only when it gets to the pizza that you're going, yeah. You wouldn't just ask for a pizza supper and a chippy and expect it to be in
battered, aye, because pizzas are so
they're already
being a pizza. They're already there was a great half pizza supper you could get up in High Blanter when I was growing up.
Is that right?
Fantastic stuff, man. Perfect pizza. Anyway, it's good to reminisce.
And I thought, presumably the viewers, I thought it was going to be more to that story.
No, that was it. I was just thinking about the good half pizza suppers I had out that place in High Blanter Main Street. Good times.
Other chippies are available.
Yeah. Tell us in the chat, what's your good memories of a carefree time in your life where you could get nice
we don't want to be that specific, Rosco. We need to, you can't narrow it down to that. Tell us a time you've had a nice experience ever.
Tell us what pizza do you like? What pizza do you like?
I don't want to endorse them, but I did see there was an advert in the boardings for Pepe's Piri Piri, which I do frequently go to, and I'm just like, they're coming up in the world doing that, but other chicken shops are available, Black Rooster, etc.
That should have been a goal there.
PC Specialist as well, which I know is close to your heart.
He's got a headband on there. And so that's coming back a wee bit now. He should have
the headband.
The headband's coming back.
Yeah. Well, Hitachi's got one of them actually.
Is he?
There seems to be the style amongst the Japanese players.
What's the deal with players cutting wee holes in their socks now?
Well, there's I've seen there's the banner I was just talking about. I've seen people say, "Oh, that's a goal, surely." Oh, that's tough.
Nah, that is tough.
Poor
That was
goal to lose.
a bad goal to lose, and that was easily stoppable.
I think the Scotland players were distracted by the Pepe's Piri Piri sign that came up on the advertising boards.
Possibly,
I think they just started getting hungry.
or the potato ones that I've noticed the potato ones going in there as well.
Oh, is that right?
I'm just like, it reminds me of a time where I was doing a gig in like somewhere in Perthshire, and there was one of these ones they have a raffle. So I was hosting the raffle, and the grand prize was a giant sack of potatoes, and people were buzzing for it.
They done well there, didn't they? But that was like,
Aye,
unlucky if
it's one of the ones.
They've just had it in Affy's legs, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, there we are. Better get used to this feeling.
It's a shame. I know. What better preparation for the World Cup than conceding a 84th minute goal?
Yeah.
I do feel like it's a bit of a shame to lose this game after it being a bit of a nothing match that neither team deserves to win, I would say.
Yeah.
But
I think the real loser here is football.
Anyway, sorry, go on. You were saying, Rosco.
And the other real loser here is PRZE my saw in the chat. Don't think I forgot about you.
I'm loving these usernames, man.
What is that? Prize my saw? Prize my saw? Never know. It seems like a bot name in it. It's not got enough numbers in it for it to be a bot name. But anyway. Oh, building and roofing maintenance. I do like the Scottish adverts and stuff that are run. Other, you see other nations
I remember there was
like big banks, and it's just like, oh yeah, you want a roof?
There was a Rangers Celtic game. It was like, I think it was just after Rangers kind of came back up in the Premier League. But there was a advert for like a local pub near me, and I'm like, that's not a big pub. What are they doing? I used to joke about that. It says like, you watch the Premier League and it's like they're encouraging you to like, fly Emirates and visit Dubai, and then in Scotland it's just visit Tony Macaroni's. Other macaroni places are available.
Good bit of work there, winning a free kick for Curtis. That's not bad. Right, come on, we'll swing it in.
Aye.
Come on, change your plan here, eh?
Aye,
I always find Christie such a frustrating player to watch.
well, see, when the last season he was at Celtic, he used to just sky every shot he done over the bar. But he has a bit of, because he is a good player, Christie, but he's like, he definitely, he's like, he doesn't do the best in a lot of the circumstances like that. He could have been better crossing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he's one of those ones as well, though. Like, to be honest, I'm surprised he doesn't start more for Scotland, but he's one of those ones that can offer you something, but it's just he's just not quite there.
Yeah. Is he still at like Bournemouth or
He's
something?
At Bournemouth. He's done well, to be honest, because he was up at Aberdeen for years and stuff, and then he's a good career in Bournemouth.
He doesn't exactly get played in his natural position for Scotland, though, does he?
I don't really know. I guess he would be sort of one of these sort of centre attacking mids off the striker, would be his natural position as well. But because does he play deeper, does he? I guess obviously he'll be a bit older and stuff now, but he definitely was like a goal threat, and he has scored good goals. He was a bit, because him and Stuart Armstrong, well, they were at Celtic at the same time, but he was almost like a kind of regen of him a wee bit in terms of like kind of one of these guys that would score like some decent goals for outside the box. But Christie just getting this habit of just skying over the bar all the time.
Yeah.
And then, but him and Edward, not dissimilar to Dyson Maeda, a lot of Celtic fans feel kind of down tools in that last season before he left. But that's a good ball, by the way, for them.
Aye, that is a good ball. Aye. Japan do have that wee extra bit of class.
Can I just say, no eye test, no party is really stretching credulity from the Specsavers advertising board.
Other savers of glasses are
I think you can have a party without an eye test, personally. I really don't think that holds up too much scrutiny.
You want to go for
just
some
want to
drink
be
before we go out?
I can't party.
I'll meet you there, but I just need to see if my varifocals are the correct. I don't know anything about glasses, so I'm just pulling words out my head.
I would just say that advertising campaign has been quite short-sighted.
Oh,
hey, listen, we're coming up with all this on the spot. We gave you a few decent laughs over the course. I think this has been more entertaining than the game, quite frankly. And I think, although that's not saying much, but
I mean, imagine I'm paid to be there.
I know.
Sit there now. You've got to wait to go to Hampden. Shocking.
That's tough.
But I quite like Hampden. I've only had like.
Well,
a
do
lot
you know
of
why?
people say
I'll
that
say
it's
why
not
you
good,
like
but-
Hampden, because I know that you get good seats there, and the main stand at Hampden is all right, but the rest of the ground is it's too shallow, so you don't get a good view of the game. Because
Well,
I've been like midway. See, if you're behind the goals and you're like midway up the stand, you feel like you're level with the park.
Aye. If you're in the good seats, it's good. But I mean, the other times I've been, and it wasn't that many times in like recent history. Had any reason to go to Hampden, but the times I've been when I was younger, I enjoyed it as well. I like the
We could do with a better
space at the top.
We could do with a better national stadium. I feel that's not controversial to say,
Aye.
especially when you look at in the old days, like when you look at it back in the 80s and all that stuff, and like obviously when there's like 130,000 people, but it was looked like the new camp or something like that. It was like massive and brilliant, and it could be like that again if.
Yeah.
But they need to knock it down and redo the whole thing. Oh dear.
Oh,
Well done, Tierney. That was a good interception there last minute.
Scotland have been kind of toothless in this game, really.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that is not boding well. It's very reminiscent of the Euros and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A
I
lot
guess
of-
maybe
lot of
we're
empty
hanging
seats.
back as well, do you know?
A lot of empty seats at Hampden. Did they say the attendance for this game? I wonder what it was. 44,000.
Didn't it look like it?
Aye, well, there'll be half of them will be away now. 200 away fans. It's a long way to go into it though for Japan for a friendly.
Aye. Plus, I mean, it's the flights and all.
They could have just filled those. They could have filled those seats with the Celtic players' families that. for Japan.
Oh, man. Alan, that's a lovely comment. If it wasn't for this stream, this game might have been switched off, to be honest.
Well, thank you, Alan. We hope you have all enjoyed it. It's been really fun. I've loved
Yeah.
this.
Although I do hope Prize My Saw has not enjoyed it. Wherever you're from.
Unfortunately, that guy that was talking about Steve Clark earlier on seems to be proving bang on the money so far. But
I mean, yes, is it?
we'll wait till the tournament kicks off.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if we can do it.
It's Anthony Ralston. Is that him injured or no? Just so that Celtic can have a 0 right backs.
And
that was just
I know. He took a.
That was one in the midriff.
Aye, midriff and lower midriff.
Aye.
He'll be feeling
I think
that.
it was
for a few
just
minutes.
above the nether regions.
the nether rift.
The nether rift. Yeah, Steve Clark, he's got some.
I'm wondering what he can do here to switch this round the final 2 minutes of time.
He's definitely been given food for thought in this game, not least by us suggesting that he should change his hair to Austin McPhee's.
I would like to see a wee bit more for Finlay Curtis. Do you know what I mean? Like, just go.
He's not-
This is your chance to show.
We've not had much of the ball, though, have we?
Nah, not really. It's like just shout for it.
Would you
Move
say
it to
where
space, run
does
it.
he play on the left or the right, Curtis?
Left for Kelly.
So-
he was playing it on the right for
So you
Rangers.
could have him on the left and Doak on the right potentially if you wanted two wingers. No, I don't ever see him playing that, but
I'm guessing that's the idea. Aye.
or would
Obviously-
you? But he played John on the right, so you would maybe have him on the right and a right side player on the left,
Aye,
which I'm not a fan of, by the way. That's one of my kind of like boomer opinions on football. I don't like the winger on the wrong side. You
Aye.
can't get your cross in.
Exactly. Aye. There's an extra touch.
You
You've got to
cut
in
inside, but there's not a lot of players that can do that well. To be honest,
Exactly.
Dyson Maeda proven that today himself.
Yeah, I think. I do like that, and I think football was more exciting when it was just people bombing down the wing, putting it in. But there
That's
we
it.
are.
But then it's a dying breed of your Chris Boyd type of strikers that can put it in the net for that as well, isn't it?
That's true. That's true. And you can't even get away with a wee bit of a fractional offside anymore.
Right, we're going to do this like thing they always do in the normal commentary. Have you got a man of the match, Roscoe?
Craig Gordon's son and goes for Japan. No,
Nice.
I think man of the match is difficult. Do you know what I mean? Because nobody's really done anything.
For Scotland.
Aye, nobody's really done anything.
I like that run for Robertson. That was good.
That's more man of the moment than man of the match.
That was moment of the match.
Yeah. It's hard. Do you know what? I think the man of the match today is, for me, it would just be everybody who's paid 40 quid to go there and watch that.
Yeah.
You deserve something for
They
this
should be
today.
They should be given a refund. That's what they should deserve.
Yeah, I know it's a friendly, but make it exciting.
Can I just say it? Oh, there you go. That's full time.
Wow.
There you go.
Well,
Defeat.
fantastic. Well, we've learned a lot from today. Is there any, what would you maybe changed if you were Steve Clarke in that position?
I'd have probably made more substitutions at half time, I would say.
Aye.
Made it a wee bit interesting. But I think that the people that will be the most vindicated are the ones that don't like to watch these type of fixtures, these friendlies in between tournaments. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you can't be too upset with the result. The performance was a wee bit nothingy, but I think we've not seen anything today that we don't already know for Scotland, that lacking a wee bit of a creative flair.
Yeah.
It was a wee bit pedestrian.
Yeah.
Obviously, if we'd held on, you could say we got a result. We didn't, but again, it's a friendly, so it doesn't really matter. So we've not really learned much, I would say, for this game. It's just been a bit, probably it'll be more useful for the squad, even maybe the training than the games. We'll see what happens in the Ivory Coast game. And apart from that, it's just kind of been, well, I've been more entertained watching the Japan fans in their outfits, to be honest. It's just come up like that.
Good for them.
But
I think that there's nothing really to take away for that. Is there? It makes you think, yes, we still don't really have a striker who is a threat, and we don't really have any kind of creative outlet when Ben Gannon Doak isn't there.
Yeah.
If we've got no Doak, no Gannon Doak, we can't play it wide. We have to play it through the middle.
he's going to be the key. I think he's going to be the key to Scotland performing better than we did in the Euros.
For
just
sure,
having a creative outlet.
Yeah.
I think McTominay's chance was good. You know, you want to see him getting in those kind of positions. I say that Andy Robertson run was really good in terms of just showing again we can bomb forward and get something going creatively from him. But overall, it's kind of, I suppose, what the critics and the fans of Steve Clarke would say. It's been the same squad, the same players that we've seen time after time. We know what they've got. We know their flaws and their positive aspects, and I think we've seen kind of that today. And in these type of games, but you can't be too harsh on them, because off the back of that Denmark game, we've already qualified. We're looking forward to the tournament. So it was a training exercise, I guess, is what they would say.
Yeah, that's a great. Alan Hasley's commentary was a great run out for the new kit. At least looked great.
That's true.
So, you know what? That's my man of the match is the new top.
The new top. I'm going to get to the training top that they were wearing when they first came out. Actually, and I would just like to say I was completely vindicated by Dyson Maid's performance. He'd done exactly what I said today, which was absolutely nothing. And I can't wait for the league season to be over, personally, as a Celtic fan. Rosco, before we go, do you want to say who do you think's going to win the league?
Hearts.
I think Hearts going to. I can't see past Hearts.
I can't see that
as well. So there we go. So James, the producer, is shaking in his boots because he actually wants that to happen, unlike the two of us. So I guess we'll just wrap up then. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us here on this live stream. Is it the first one on the BBC Sports Scotland football channel?
Yeah.
So there we go. So the first of many to come. So do remember to subscribe and stuff like that. To the channel. And when are Scotland back in action, Roscoe?
Well, they're back in action.
If they were arguably, they were not in action today, but
yeah. Well, they're back in action Tuesday night, Ivory Coast.
Côte d'Ivory.
That's the day before I fly out over the world. So I'll probably be watching that in the house while I'm packing my bags before I go to Melbourne.
Well, you can catch all that, not what Roscoe said, but the game on the BBC Scotland channel from 7:15 p.m.
But if you want to come to East Kilbride, you can watch me pack my suitcase. It's one of the things.
Apparently, there's a really good chippy there. You can get a good pizza crunch. Listen, guys, thanks so much for joining us, and thanks for watching. And remember, like and subscribe, and speak to you soon. Cheers.
Bye-bye.